Enjoy.
Yeah, it's about that time. Yo. Welcome to the best show in the land where sports and pop culture goes hand in hand. Fanarchy is nothing without the fan. Tackle any subject ever known to man. Sports Radio Detroit, take a stand. CRB connected, give them a hand. Quise in the building, formulating the plan to take over the world. Opponents ain't got a chance. Whether LeBron won or the Browns beat Houston, or Donald Trump tongue kiss Vladimir Putin, we take real talk, add a little music, piss some folk off, but never lose the coolness. True spit that Fat Father can vouch for. Entertainment you hit a couch and shout for. Log on, listen, run and tell a friend that the greatest radio show about to happen again. Now it's not the time to sleep. You better get up, get out, get hip, cause we supplying the heat. Fanarchy. Go ahead and check our stats. Fanarchy. Guess who's back? Now it's not the time to sleep. You better get up, get out, get hip, cause we supplying the heat. Fanarchy. Go ahead and check our stats. Fanarchy. Guess who's back? Yo, this Fat Father. And when I want to talk sports, music, or anything under the sun, I'm tuned in to Fanarchy Detroit. Veterans Day in stores now. Go get that. Yeah.
We have the future governor of Michigan, Jenny Curlin, will join us at 4:30. We also are going to talk about Angie's face-sitting experience, but it may be like, thwarted by something worse that might be going on in her life. Jason is here. Wilson is not here just yet. We may have some other people coming in, and Angie is here. So, good show.
Double here.
We got a lot of things that we are going to talk about today. We're going to talk about the Lions. We're going to talk about that racist-ass photo that was taken during the Lions game. We're going to talk about some Adam Silver. We're going to talk about Jemele Hill because that was the biggest sports story of the week. And we're going to talk about some things in the Toy Hall of Fame and some bizarre video from Jim Carrey. So, great show. And some week 2 picks.
I really enjoyed that interview that you're talking about with Jim Carrey.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that, we'll just get into that because if we don't do that now, we won't get into it later. Jim Carrey, and when Jim Carrey did an interview at New York Fashion Week, and
it was awesome.
It was awesome. It was maybe awesome to you, but I want to ask you this real quick: did any part of you worry?
No,
about Jim Carrey.
No, that looks like a comedian who's just fucking with people.
Okay, now I'll say that until you know Jim Carrey, you know his history, you know he has a history of mental illness and being bipolar and having depression problems. What scared me about that video was, yes, it was awesome, yes, it was bizarre, but also it made me think, are we looking at another Robin Williams situation?
I don't think so. I think he was always a little more caustic than Robin Williams was. He's a little more openly cynical. Like, Robin Williams was always more, his depression stayed in private. Like, Jim Carrey lets it bleed into his comedy, and he takes roles that are where he's allowed to do it a little more often than Williams did.
Okay.
So I think, and I don't know if you followed Jim Carrey at all in his career post like superstardom, but he's kind of modified to, hey buddy, he's kind of switched gears to now he's like a painter, and he does a lot of like visual art on his own. I think I heard a story that like his girlfriend like committed suicide last year. I think.
Yeah, and that was another thing that added to that because he had a girlfriend who committed suicide, found out that she was secretly married.
But if you listen to what he's saying, he's more or less like, what he's saying is like just like, I'm at peace, it's okay. Like, none of this matters. Like, he even says point blank, none of this matters. Like, Fashion Week doesn't fucking matter. He was just bored.
Hey, Jim Carrey. Yes.
What?
I've covered a lot of Fashion Weeks. This is the first time I've run into Jim Carrey. Wait, tell me, is it true you're wandering the streets? You need a date to the party? What's up?
No. I'm doing just fine. I just, there's no meaning to any of this. So I wanted to find the most meaningless thing that I could come to and join, and here I am.
They're celebrating.
You got to admit it's completely meaningless.
Well, they say they're celebrating icons inside.
Celebrating
Do you believe
icons.
in icons?
Boy, that is just the absolute lowest aiming, possibility that we could come up with. It's like icons. Do you believe in icons? I don't believe in personalities. I don't believe that you exist, but there is a wonderful fragrance in the air.
You don't believe certain icons have the power to make change, to think differently, to be bold, to inspire others? Artistry? You're one of them.
On the good foot. Ha! Yeah. You shut it down now. Yeah, no, I don't believe in icons. I don't believe in personalities. I believe that peace lies beyond personality, beyond invention and disguise, beyond the red S that you wear on your chest that makes bullets bounce off. I believe that it's deeper than that. I believe we're a field of energy dancing for itself. And I don't care.
But Jim, you got really dressed up for the occasion. You look good.
No, I didn't.
Was that an
get dressed
accident?
up. I didn't get dressed up.
Who did?
There is no me.
There's no you.
No.
We're not here. This is a dream?
There's just things happening.
And he just wanted to do it just because it was fun for him, I think. Because he, at the beginning of the interview, he trolls her by going around her 3 or 4 times and then stopping and then doing the interview while she's, asking questions like, Jim, hi. Jim, hi, Jim. And he's just walking around her staring directly at her.
He's probably just, fucking with people.
Yeah, he's
because
bored.
especially if you have, mental illness, it's I think that a lot of people being in that industry, I think that would just bring it out of you because a lot of people are just care about shit that nobody gives a shit about. I don't know. Good for him.
It just when I saw the video, I'm thinking, hey, okay, this is Jim Carrey. This is kind of funny. Then I thought, this is Jim Carrey. This is kind of bizarre. And then I thought, for Jim Carrey, this is kind of bizarre. And then I instantly thought, this guy has depression issues. Could we be looking at
No.
Could we be looking at another tragic situation where all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Robin Williams died? I think the day that Robin Williams died, killed himself, we actually went on air that day.
I think the difference
hours
is
after.
The difference is that Robin Williams was more like a, he would say in speeches you have one life, live it the best you can, and so on and so forth. Jim Carrey is now and has for the most part always been our body is just a vessel for the soul kind of guy. He's a believer in spirit above body. So I don't think that people who have that much. I guess it's a little case of ego, but I think people who have that kind of worldview don't think that they can just solve their problems with killing themselves. I don't think he does. I genuinely don't. I think he was just, fuck it, let's have fun with somebody.
Okay, so
because he knows that the person interviewing him is a Fashion Week expert, which means if somebody comes at them with anything other than talking about fucking Fashion Week, they're going to be confused.
he's I just kind of just wandered in here. And she's like, well, Jim, you kind of got dressed up. He's like, no, I'm not here. You're not here. None of us are here. It's all made up. All of this. So it was a bizarre interview, and I guess we'll see on that. But those were my immediate thoughts, and I just thought that if anyone shared that, and I guess someone else shared it. How was your week, Jason? Congratulations on your transfer.
Thank you. It's miserable right now because I'm having to switch from midnights to days.
Oh, no.
And then the week after this, I have to switch from days to afternoons.
Are you just in a training process? Are you going to eventually go back to midnights?
I don't know. The first week is orientation, and then they'll just assign us out wherever we go. So it's because this is my third.
Did you just burp and fart out of your mouth at the same time?
I burped with my mouth closed, so it's just yeah.
Speaking of bodily functions, we'll talk about me pooping next to a dumpster.
My favorite text message of the week right there. But I've been to 3 factories. This will be my 3rd factory, and every time because it's union negotiated. You basically get a week's vacation before you start because it's you come in every day at 7, and it's we have a 7 to 3:30 orientation, but it's really 7. You get there at 7, you sit around until 7:30, and then you're going home by 1:15 or 12:30 because they don't. There's nothing you can learn that week. Orientation doesn't actually teach you anything about the factory. They're just Hi, welcome to our factory. Now watch this video about safety. And the guy's like,
Is this on Middle Belt, or is that the Roush plant?
the one on Middle Belt is actually a distribution center for Ford.
Okay.
I'm going to be at the one on Plymouth and Levan.
So you're going to be doing transmissions.
Yes.
Nice. Anything else great happening? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I can't wait to watch those videos where the guy's just like,
Sounding like Charlie Brown, like the Charlie Brown adult.
well, it's like a VHS tape from like 1976 that they've played to every single orientation since 1983 when they actually got the tape. And it's just they haven't cleaned it or anything. So it's always a fun week. It's always really relaxing. And the only downside is I happen to be on Midnights right now.
Are they going to play you the same tape that they already played you?
Yeah, they have at both plants. Like when I started in Wayne, it was the same tape, and then when I went to Livonia, it was the exact same tape.
For some reason, that just reminded me of
Or when I went to
when
Sterling.
you're in like 5th grade and they taught you about like sex or whatever.
Yeah.
And you had to watch like that video, but we had watched like the Disney one, and like this girl got her period, and it was like sparkly.
Damn, I ain't seen no shit like that.
You watched the
No, I
boys
didn't either.
video.
Yeah, we watched the boys video.
Hi, Wilson.
What up, though?
How you doing?
I'm good, man. How are
What's interesting? What you got for us?
I ain't got shit, man.
We talked about this. It's time to talk about you. How have you been?
I'm good, man. Shit, I'm here, loving it.
What'd you do during the week? Anything exciting?
No.
He's like literally nothing.
Well,
Too old for things to
it
happen.
was a appreciation week, so I didn't, it was donuts and coffee every morning.
Oh, yeah.
And
There
it
you
was
go.
barbecue.
Why'd you get mad because of that?
Yeah, the whole week, Monday and
Because Wilson
Tuesday
just gets
burgers.
everything. Wilson is just this.
Because he looks so good.
everything.
He's
He
just
looks
a
so
charmer.
young.
He's just such a charmer. Everybody loves him because he's so laid back and just. I know the other side of Wilson.
I saw
know
some of the other side last week when he brought up that old ass grudge.
I know the. I know the Wilson that if his kids don't call him sir, he gives them the stank eye like Adrian Peterson did to Sean Payton.
Nah, it ain't cut like that.
I'm kidding.
What? No, I'm still. It was a nice, boring week. How I like it. Exactly how I like it.
Apologies to you, Wilson. I accused you of calling Jason Jake when you actually said Jay.
He said Jake. I
I
listened
said
to it.
no.
You said Jake.
Jay.
You said
No,
Jay.
I said Jay.
Yeah, I thought
I heard Jake when I
just
because
call
you
him
put it
Jake.
into last week's show, which I
Yeah.
really liked, but I heard it.
Yeah.
You can put it in here. Who knows? By the way,
No, I'm
side
not
note,
doing that shit again.
There is
I fuck up
took like
names,
20
so
minutes to do
I
that.
just took the L.
There is nothing in the world. I'll just take the L. There's nothing in the world I want more than the audio of that Adrian Peterson, Sean Payton exchange because there is no audio. I haven't heard anything. But you could see AP in the back just like, well, and then Sean Payton's like,
Well, this,
and it's over.
How I took that, because when he gave the explanation later on, he said we need to run up their donkey, which means I think he said they need to run up his ass.
Right.
And
He followed his mouth at the
It
end.
looked like he said ass. And it looked like Sean Payton looked back at him and was like, "Don't worry, we'll get you." But then later on this week, he comes out and says, I didn't sign up for 9 carries a game. So maybe he was upset. Maybe he wasn't upset.
I want that audio.
Also, it was. I think
he was upset.
Does
He definitely was.
I guess if you would have gotten that, you would have gotten that from the show soundtracks. Is it NFL tracks or
No,
whatever?
it's not. It doesn't exist. There was no mic near them at the time.
So because normally they have the mics on the coach, especially week 1, they'll have a mic on the coach, and then they'll play it back on that NFL show where they play all the audio from all the
Yeah,
players.
I don't
and
think
stuff.
they had anything on
I don't know. I mean,
Maybe
but
it'll come
it
out in
would've
like
came
2 years.
But
Right,
it would have
right,
come.
right.
It would have come. Well, it would have come out this week. Late. It would have leaked earlier this week. A lot like the Des Bryant. Remember when Des Bryant went off on his team in Detroit, and they're like, Des Bryant's not being a leader. He's criticizing people on the sideline. And then later on in the week, you got the footage of him saying. It was actually him saying, "Let's go. We're better than them. We can do this. No one can do this better than us." And it just looked demonstrative because you're looking on the sideline without any audio.
I want to add a little follow up to last week's show.
Okay.
We had Tim here last week talking about a trade.
Let's just get into that now. Too.
So Tim made a trade. Wills, I don't know if you know about this at all.
No, he doesn't. He's not in the league. He's completely blind to it.
Tim made a nonsensical trade that doesn't make any. And I was mad because I was like, man, how does this person not know that this is not bang for your buck in fantasy football? And the trade was Brandon Cooks and Melvin Gordon in a half-point PPR league for David Johnson and Allen Robinson. Mm-hmm. And the trade was completed, and then both David and Johnson
on Saturday. It couldn't be completed until Tuesday because that's when the end of the NFL week is.
Mm-hmm. And then both David Johnson and Allen Robinson got injured for the year, to which Tim, weirdly, it was like karmic almost that happened to him. So then he responded by saying, in every league he's in, if the players get injured before the trade is completed, it's the commissioner's job to veto the trade. I actually agree with him to some extent. Because that to put it in real-life terms, that is like, okay, the Patriots are trading Tom Brady for Aaron Rodgers, except Tom Brady got murdered at the airport.
Well, here's the
thing. They
wouldn't
then get Aaron Rodgers just for the corpse of Tom Brady.
Well, right, but if the trade is confirmed,
one thing and an injury is another thing.
If the trade is confirmed,
we're talking about fantasy football for the purposes of a one-season league with no redraft. They're murdered.
They're
not playing this year. They're done.
What my thing
still the trade was confirmed.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so in the real NFL, if they made an official trade,
if they made an official trade in the NFL,
but they hadn't made the journey to the other team yet.
No, well, what I'm saying is that if you get, let's say you actually get traded in the NFL on Thursday, you won't be able to play for the team on Sunday to risk being injured.
Okay, so let's say you're still on the roster and on Sunday, before you left your team, they were murdered.
Well, murdered is different. If you get into a car accident and break your leg, the trade still goes through.
You're right, but we're talking about for fantasy.
I mean,
in fantasy terms, these guys are dead. They're dead.
Just for example, you look at the NBA.
David Johnson he comes back. If they make the playoffs, he comes.
Well, just to look.
That's not going to be in fantasy.
Here's a prime example.
It could be our championship because when our playoffs is their championship.
Right now, you're looking at a situation in NBA where Kyrie Irving was traded for Isaiah Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Isaiah Thomas is going there injured, not able to play for the next 4 to 6 months because of his hip. And it's like, well, you made the trade, and then what they said was, we didn't know it was this bad when we made the trade. And then they said, okay, well, what we're going to do is we're going to sweeten the deal a little bit more so that the trade goes through. Now, what I said to Tim was, because when I woke up Sunday, I woke up to I woke up to a bling, and it's saying, if they're out for the year, then you can rescind this trade. And I'm thinking, you guys already had a handshake agreement. Mm-hmm. Also knowing Tim, if it was the other way around, and it was Tim's injured players leaving his team, he would be like, no way would any commissioner ever allow it after we already.
Well, I don't know about that, but yeah, I get you.
I mean, come on.
He's very passionate.
He's a very passionate man.
Fucking religious.
So he's out of the league now.
So he decided, because I let the trade go through, he's out of the league, and he took his ball and gone home.
He left the league, fucking dropped Rob Gronkowski, made the best team in the league by dropping Rob Gronkowski, because Ray's going to win that league now.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. And Jason, like, everyone tried to purge off this team, and I'm like, well, let me see if I can get somebody else.
So who was getting the two injured guys?
No, Tim would have.
Tim would have. Oh, so yeah, he didn't want that shit to go. Yeah,
but he traded Melvin Gordon and Brandon Cooks for nothing.
That's no, but who cares?
That's what I'm saying. You guys,
if you make the trade, it doesn't matter who it's for. You make the trade.
Had Brandon Cooks not played Thursday, that trade would have gone through on Friday, and he would have been shit out of luck.
I know that if that had happened, Tim wouldn't have said anything.
I know
that for a fact.
I'm hurting for running backs in my league. I was going to trade Deshaun Jackson for Amir Abdullah. But my man didn't want it, and I was like, I knew Rawls was going to start. He's going to start, so I got somebody out the waiver wire and said, fuck it. Took my shit back, but he didn't agree to it, so he doesn't get Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah, I know for a fact that if that trade went through before the games, and he got to play with them, and then they got injured, he would have been like, wow, that sucks. And then he would have kept moving.
No, what I'm saying is...
Okay, yeah.
No, what I'm
saying...
I know what you're
that would happen.
I know
exactly what
you're saying. The same situation happened where he was getting rid of the players, and it wouldn't have been able to clear until Tuesday. He would have said, you have to push that trade through. There's no way you can't allow that.
No, I don't think he would have.
If he would have been giving away the two...
I don't think he would have done
that. If it was a money league...
He would have.
If it was a money league and he was getting rid of two hurt motherfuckers like that,
well, yeah, that's different.
He would have pushed that shit through.
I also want to say this, and this is a memorandum. Help me out with that word.
Memorandum. You said it right.
Cool.
You
memorandum. to people.
A round of applause.
Thank you.
Yes.
He can read.
Anybody who's on this show.
He can't say Gillisley, though.
Yeah.
He says it Gillespie for some reason.
I want to say to anybody that's on this show, because we have a big family on the Fanarchy / Local Spin brand. Anybody who's a family member, well, we call them orphans. Anybody who's an orphan on this show is associated with us.
Yeah.
And through that is associated with anybody that we're associated with. So don't, just because you have a personal beef with the person, don't say they're not associated with Sports Radio Detroit. That's fucking bullshit. You're barely associated with Sports Radio Detroit, and you own the bitch. Like,
We got beef?
No, we don't have no beef.
We fighting somebody?
I'm just making things claro. Just because you may not
That one's not a word.
I know. I was about to say anything.
No, claro. No, I say claro because I know fucking
clear skin.
No, because you're saying because Dominicans say it clear, and I know fucking baby says I want to make things claro. I know fucking baby. I fucking man.
This night, I want put everybody claro because everybody is confundido with me. My nigga, I'm not a baby. I am a man, nigga. Look at my fucking down, nigga. I am not baby. I'm 22 years old. My name is Jonathan, 22 years old. I am from Santo Domingo. My from is Santo Domingo, you know? And then, don't talk to me. You look like baby. No, my nigga, I am not fucking baby. I am a man, my nigga. You know because look at my damn. Look at my damn, my nigga. I am not baby, bro. I'm 22 years old, nigga. Ya me están poniendo tabla inglés la gente. Man, nigga, yo tengo 22, bro. You estúpido, you tienes cucaracha en tu cabeza. I am a man.
But anybody associated with us and any orphan of us is associated with not only CRB but also SRD, and because they're on our show and they are. And Tim is considered an extension of our show. He is one of our orphans. And so just because you don't like the particular person, don't mean that he's not associated, because he's associated with all of us. He is. And did I say who no, I didn't mistakenly say. I'll say
who
it
that
here
is.
because I think I'm already getting ready to get a phone call.
You're
You're going to get a
gossip
text
queen.
message, a phone call, couple of group chats.
What's up?
Yeah.
Fuck it, say it. That's how we used to do it. Say it.
I know, but
say his name.
I can't get in trouble.
I'll say it.
I get in trouble. Go ahead.
I don't know his name.
Oh,
Tell me. I'll say it.
Then we'll leave.
Somebody write it down.
No, we'll leave.
I'm gonna leave out the room, and when I come back, the name is gonna be written on this paper, and I'll say it.
Okay.
Or somebody will be murdered when you come back. It's like a weird story.
Not it.
Ben. Tim is a part of our show. He's extended family. He is an orphan of our show.
And a lot of people from the show.
Just because you don't like him doesn't mean that he isn't a part of the brand, because he's a part of our brand and we are a part of your brand. If he were to do something on the show that got us all in trouble, we all in trouble.
Who's Ben?
That's where we're going to leave that conversation. I want to talk about.
I'm staying out of that one.
So, well, Angie, how was your week?
Oh. Well. We had some highs and lows this week.
You have a phone call.
Oh.
What's up?
Hello?
Hi.
Gigi?
Hi.
Who this is?
Hello?
Is this Gigi?
No, this is Jenny K.
Oh, this is Jenny K. Hi, Jenny.
Guys, I figured that out on the
Hey.
Okay.
What's up? Am I early?
You are
late.
You are a tad bit early, but you know what? We're gonna go on break and we're gonna talk to the future governor.
I show my nuts right now. Let me see your nuts. Yeah. You got baby nuts, Dada. You want to do that? You got baby nuts. I bet you my nuts bigger than yours. I hear you. Come on. I hear you.
You listening to Oír Musical?
See you in the rain when I knock you out. Straight up. See, that's it. Dog, you never knocked out nobody. Who did you knock out? No nuts, please. I'm going to tell you like this right here.
On KRadioBroadcasting.com.
No nuts, please.
Jason is here. Wilson is here. Angie is here. I am very proud to know some very good people who do great things in the community. I'm not someone who does great things in the community.
Me neither.
But some of the people that I know do great things in the
Angie's here
community.
No, you did not.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
Angie is also
I thought
here.
you did.
But on the phone right now is someone who I consider a
Future
good friend.
governor.
She's the future governor of Michigan, and she also has a show here on CRBRadio.com, The Offensive Feminist, every Wednesday from 4 to 5 p.m.
Wilson just put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah, I bet her.
Yeah.
That's me.
What's happening?
Hi, everyone.
Future governor.
I like that Wilson's a living sitcom.
She is the future governor of the great state of Michigan. Miss Jennifer Curlin is on us right now on the Fuck Your Mama phone line.
She's on us.
Jenny K, how are you doing, girl?
Hey, I'm doing really good. You guys are still a little light in my ear, but I can hear you. You just all sound like really far away.
So, listen,
You sound like you in traffic.
You do sound like you're in traffic.
Well, I'm actually, so I put you on my ear Bluetooth so you're not in like my car Bluetooth to try to stop some of the noise. I'm currently driving from Flint down to Detroit. I was just knocking on some doors up in Flint, and now I have an event in Detroit that I'm heading to, and then I have another one in Grosse Pointe after that.
You're really doing it. She was elected in 2012 to serve a 6-year term for the Redford Union School Board. She is a politician. I mean, look, I know that there are people out there that's probably doubting you or probably not taking you serious, right?
Well, I'm running as a Green Party candidate, and so that automatically gives me a stigma as, kooky or, someone who can't get things done or, pie in the sky stuff, those kinds of things. Yes, I'm telling people I'm currently climbing Mount Everest.
Does that mean we're going to find an old album you made in the 90s with a weird folk alternative band?
Right? Well, I did sing in a cover band for a little while called The Unusual Suspects, and so there are, I have a photo of me singing at Ashley's in Westland, actually, on my website. I'm pretty much an open book. I'm not, you're getting, if people vote for me for governor, you're getting me warts and all. I'm not the politician that's trying to hide stuff in my closet. I'm out of the closet.
When do the nudes leak? That's what we got to know. We know they're in your computer. When do the nudes leak?
I'm sorry, I can't.
I'm kidding.
What'd you say?
Probably the week before the election, if done appropriately.
Yeah, it's better that you didn't hear that question. What are some of the platforms that she's on? Number one is one that she's been really harping on is Fixing Flint. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I was actually just in Flint today and was talking to people. I had some really amazing conversations about what's going on in Flint. And, one of the major things that people are concerned about in Flint is there's additional issues with the water aside from just the lead issue. There's other bacterial issues that are happening, and they're not being properly tested. And there's one of the biggest issues in Flint right now that people are most concerned about that I was talking to are two things. Number one are issues of blight, of homes that are abandoned that need to either be rehabbed and, turned into new homes for new homeowners or need to be torn down, depending on the state of the house. And the other thing is education, because all of the kids in Flint need to be considered lead exposed. And there have been no or next to no additional resources being given to the school districts in Flint for these kids that need additional support with learning simply because they were exposed to lead.
Well, one of your platforms that you're on is public education. It's one of the most important things because I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. But for far too long,
Whitney.
But for far too long, I know that's not even crackhead Whitney. That's like still innocent Whitney.
That's like one of my favorite songs.
One of the things that is lacking and that no one pays attention to are the children in the public school, particularly in the urban public schools. What are you going to do to help that?
So there's a lot of issues when it comes to education in Michigan, and one of the biggest issues is equity. And, we've been fighting our schools for over a decade. I mean, the issues of public education started when I was in high school over 15 years ago. And we only continued to cut public education, and we have stopped funding public education. And especially in more urban areas, what happens when you force school districts to make cuts, there's only so many places you can cut for 10 years when, at this point, they're cutting teachers and they're cutting additional resources in the classroom. So especially when you think about DPS, right? Detroit Public Schools is one of the biggest culprits of state control and lack of resources. There's a few different issues when it comes to education with resources such as DPS, and one of the issues is being able to create a new millage and use it for building. So in Michigan, we don't have any allocation from the state for building improvements at all, period. The state of Michigan is one of less than 5 states across our entire country that don't give schools a stipend to improve buildings. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I don't know where I saw this stat, but I saw where there's a particular state, maybe you can help me with this if you saw this in the news. I saw a stat that said that they're taking money, that they're putting more money into building prisons than to building schools. What are you going to do about that?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a huge issue of the prison industrial complex. So there's two things. Number one, when it comes to, putting less money into our prisons, one of the biggest issues is nonviolent criminals, and specifically people who are victims of the drug war being incarcerated for very small, minor offenses. And the first thing we need to do is legalize marijuana recreationally and tax it as if, I wouldn't say exactly like alcohol, but it does need to be taxed like alcohol, where the state gets, a share of the revenue. When you look at other states that have done this, especially like Colorado is a prime example, they now have more money than they know what to do with because they have this huge increase in brand new revenue simply from legalizing marijuana. And then the next step to that is making sure that everyone who has been incarcerated for marijuana for small, minor offenses as a nonviolent criminal gets released and gets job training and is able to get back into society as a productive citizen contributing to the economy. And so that has a direct correlation with schools when you talk about the school-to-prison pipeline.
Future governor... I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say future governor of the great state of Michigan, Jennifer Curlin, is on with us. You want to do something about prison and policing, and it seems like you are already on your way before I very rudely cut you off like the piece of shit host that I am. So please keep going down the path you were going about the prison system and policing.
Yeah, so... Detroit is actually a really good example of what police departments can do to make improvements in their community. When you think about Detroit and Detroit's police 10, 15 years ago, there were a lot of issues of police brutality in Detroit. There were issues of, Detroit police officers not being in the community and not policing the community. And Detroit has done a lot of really wonderful things to hire more African Americans, hire more women, putting their police officers in the community and being people who will actually speak to protesters, who will speak to community members, who try to de-escalate situations instead of escalate situations. Now, they're obviously not perfect. There are still other issues, and things that need to be improved upon. But Detroit is a really good example of what cities can do to curb the issues of police violence. And, if you listen to my show, then you know that every week I read off a list of names of people who have been killed by police. And every week the average is around 20 people. And one of the reasons why I don't like to go for longer than 2 weeks missing a show is because the list gets so long that I spend over, almost half my show reading off the list of names of people who have been killed by police.
We're going to talk about this later on in the show, but I want to see what you thought about it. Have you heard the controversy with ESPN host Jemele Hill and Donald Trump?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? Because the White House is calling for her firing for calling him a white supremacist, but he built his political career on being racist.
I mean, I believe that Donald Trump is a white supremacist. I'll say that. He certainly holds himself to those kinds of standards, and I believe the prime example is his response on Charlottesville, saying that there were good people on both sides. And I don't know any American who would really ever say that there are good people in the Nazis.
Well, there was a stat.
If you're marching with the Nazis, you are not a good person. I will not apologize for that.
There was a stat that said that 10% of Americans believe that what the Nazis were doing was okay. Now, when you say that's okay, 10%, that's not much, but that equals out to 22 million people in America who believe that was okay.
Yeah. I mean, our country was founded on the genocide of Africans and Native Americans.
Thank you.
And that history we have never truly confronted as a country in a way that we really need to.
Thank you.
And that includes public education and ensuring that, there's a bill right now in the State House. I forget who introduced it, but it's to require Black history to be taught in public schools. They recently, I believe a year ago, passed a resolution that the Holocaust needs to be taught in public schools in Michigan, and that passed. And it really blows my mind that we even have something called Black history, when Black history in America is American history. The history of slavery and the history of Black people through Jim Crow and lynchings and redlining and segregation, that is American history. That is also white history, because who inflicted these things on Black people in America are the white establishment who created these laws that cause these issues. And if we don't teach people that this is what our country was founded on, and this is how we have, used the foundation of our Constitution to change our country for the better, then we are going to continue to have 10% or more of the population believing in things like white supremacy, because they were never taught exactly what that means and what it is and what the system is, and true history of our country, which includes the history of Black people, which includes the history of Native people, which includes the history of Jews and Irish and, the myriad of immigrants that have come to the United States and have been able to create a life with, for themselves here.
We're talking to future governor of the great state of Michigan, Jenny Curl. And Jason, you got a question?
Yeah, Jenny, I've been on your show before, and I actually have a question in regards to sort of the way that you present your opinion and having interact with you. How do you translate that hyper-intelligent mind of yours to a populace that seemingly, for the most part, seems to embrace ignorance and money?
See, I would actually argue with you that the populace does not embrace ignorance and money. And I say this because I'm a canvasser by trade, I guess. So when I was between the ages of 18 and 20, 21, I worked for Clean Water Action, and I canvassed the entire state. I mean, I have knocked on doors all over the entire hand. I never canvassed up in the UP, so I can't say that I've canvassed in the UP yet. But I've canvassed all over, up north, west side of the state, Lansing area, east side of the state, south end of the state. I've canvassed everywhere. And even the most uneducated person in our state still understand how policy made in Lansing and in Washington, D.C. screws them over. Because it has to do with their individual life. Because, even when people say, oh, I don't like politics, I don't deal with politics, you deal with politics every day. If you drive a car and you drive down a road, that's politics. If you are someone who's on public assistance, that's politics. If you are someone who has a child in public education, that's politics. So it doesn't matter, as much as there are some people that kind of try to push their ignorance and say that they are not involved in politics and they stay away from politics, you can't stay away from politics because that is how we all live. We live in a society. The society is run by a government. Therefore, everything is political.
So, one last question, then I'll pass it back to Quise.
Well, I got a question after you.
Okay, well, I'll pass it over to Wilson then. One last question. I guess the second part of my question reiterated is, how do you go to battle with that much, wealth and income being able to spend on ads to counterproduce a good message and a clearly well-spoken and well-thought-out message like your own?
Thank you. So my current goal right now is to be the first Green Party person to be able to get state matching funds. And so I need 4,167 people to give me $18. You know how Bernie had his 27, mine is 18. And so, I need that many people to give me $18 or less people to give me more, depending on how generous and how, able people are. And that will help me be able to hire a staff. Right now I have some people on my team, but everyone is a volunteer. And so there's only so much that, people who are volunteers can do. There's only so much I can do myself as a candidate as well as someone, trying to run my own campaign. So if anyone wants to help me with this Mount Everest of a climb, my website is Michigan.com. So that's KURLAND, 4 MICHIGAN.com. And there's a donate button. All of my other issues are up there. There's ways of making comments. There's some news. I've got a bunch of stuff on Flint from the documentary that I did on Flint through my radio show. A bunch of that information is up there, and I am, just doing everything I can to get the message out there. And I appreciate you guys letting me come on the show too.
I'm for sure gonna donate. Like I'm for sure gonna slip you a 20. Wilson, you had a question.
My question, a statement and a question. Well, my statement is, when you do make governor, I want to be a part of your security detail. And my question
I need a job too.
And my question is it possible that not only city workers, but people who work for the city of Detroit just live in the city of Detroit and help generate money that way? Is it possible to make people do that?
You mean putting Detroiters to work in Detroit?
I mean, like, to help build up Detroit. You got the Lions who play in Detroit. So shouldn't they live in Detroit, and that money can help generate, and get us out of the debt that we're in? Wherever you work, wherever you live, that's the area that you work in.
That's like segregation, man.
I mean,
let the go ahead.
No, I was saying, go ahead. That was my question. Is it possible that we can get that done?
I would say that's kind of a twofold kind of a question, because one of the biggest issues is not that Detroit Lions players should live in Detroit. One of the biggest issues is that the employees of the Detroit Lions who work at the stadium, there should be a percentage of those employees live in Detroit. Okay. And so that would be considered what's called a community benefit agreement, and that's really more of a city issue than it is a state issue, because right now the city of Detroit is not really holding any of these stadiums that are getting really huge amounts of tax money. They're not holding them accountable to the community. So, for example, right now, the Detroit Pistons Stadium is getting $36 million in taxes that is specifically coming out of the Detroit Public Schools budget. So they're reallocating $36 million that is supposed to go to Detroit Public Schools to the Detroit Pistons in order for the Detroit Pistons to move their franchise to Detroit. But in return, the Detroit Pistons are giving the city 60 basketball hoops, and they are not hiring any additional Detroiters for the stadium. And so, I mean, that's really an accountability piece on Detroit and Detroit City Council and Detroit School Board that is allowing this to happen. So in terms of, as a governor, is there something I can really do about that? Not really. But there are certain things in terms of, putting pressure on the city council and also, just encouraging people to look at the Green Party candidates that are currently running in the city of Detroit, to, put them on the council so that there are people who are not bought and sold already, and who will actually be accountable to the people on the city council to stop things like that from happening.
Jenny, every time you give me I don't know. I don't know how to say this, but I enjoy you coming on with us. You have to actually come and show up when you're not out here canvassing. I know you're going to be busy over the next few months. My last, I have two more questions for you. My first question is, do you need a first man for the gubernatorial house? I can be I could be a very strong, silent Melania type. You could just. I won't be Melania. I'll just be melanin. My second question is, Wilson, right?
I think so.
He's a taller, dark-skinned dude. There's not many blacks around here in Cave Radio, but he is the other legacy black dude here. Who looks younger, me or Wilson?
Who looks younger, you or Wilson?
She don't remember me. That's how she go make that assessment. She has to come back on the show.
You got to come back on the show and tell us who looks better, me or Wilson, or who looks younger.
Okay, next time I'm there in person, I will.
Okay, you got to come.
I will make that assessment.
You got to come in person. Tell people again where they can donate and how they can help you get into the Michigan governor's house. What do we call that? We don't call it the White House. What do we call that? The Capitol.
I believe it's just called the Governor's Mansion.
Okay, how do we get you into the Governor's Mansion? How do I get a bed in there, preferably closest to you, so I can get the power? I got some things I need to do.
So in order to
that was ugly.
Governor, I need volunteers and I need donors. I need people in terms of volunteers to be able to make phone calls for me to, help spread the message to potential voters. I need people to join the Green Party of Michigan because I am not the only candidate who is seeking the gubernatorial nomination. And so, I need people to join the party and come to the nominating convention and help me get nominated, which is going to be next year, either April or May in Flint. And in terms of donations, I need 4,167 people to give me $18 or less people to give me more so that I can be the first Green Party candidate to receive state matching funds so I can start hiring some staff and really, really get on the ground and go out there. So the ways that you can volunteer and you can donate, just go to my website, which is www.kurland4michigan.com. So that's KURLAND, the number 4, MICHIGAN.com.
All right, I am in for Kurland.
Yeah, Quise is gonna contact you, and I'm a Facebook friend you. You send us, what you need, and I can tell you what I'm able to do. Because regardless of the fact, you Cave Radio, so we got you. We got
you. There may not be a 20 sitting here for you on Wednesday, but there will be a 20 sitting here for you.
For sure.
Oh, awesome. You can contribute right online, too, so, that makes it easy as well.
I want to give you the hard cash.
Well,
straight cash, homie.
Right? So the maximum amount of cash that I can actually accept per person is $20 because of campaign finance laws.
Cool, that's all you get.
So ethical.
So anything over $20, if you wish to contribute, does have to be either by check or by credit card online.
You can hear her on The Offensive Feminist every Wednesday from 4 to 5 p.m. and you future will see her in the governor's mansion in Michigan, making a difference for all of us. Thank you, Jenny. Hold on real quick. We come back and find out how Angie's week was next.
You're listening to
Rodgers rolling to his left. Being chased, slips the tackle. Rodgers is stepping up and lofting it deep down the field into the end zone. It is up and it is caught. Caught by the Packers. Richard Rodgers for a touchdown. Oh, no.
You're listening to Radio Mexico on KRadioBroadcasting.com.
Try your face, nigga. Get it together. I ain't going nowhere. Oh, Quise. Niggas wanna kill me till a nigga's done. Wanna peel my cat back, see a nigga gone. All 'cause I rap actual facts on the song.
Thank Jenny K for coming on with us. Hopefully we can get her back on.
I love her.
Oh, I love her too, man. She's awesome.
You love her in a different way.
No, I don't. Come on.
Based on your tone of voice, you do.
Stop with that.
I was like, I love her.
Stop getting me in trouble. Stop getting me in trouble.
Did you get in trouble last
6
week?
hours,
Oh, the
6
other
hours
week?
crying sessions. I don't need it.
6 hours?
Man.
Just because you love a gubernatorial candidate?
Man.
Like a record.
Ugh.
What?
Talak.
Oh, shit.
You can't divorce what you're not married to.
Angie,
Over the show?
huh?
Over something stupid that you
Can I tell you, I get in trouble it's gotten to the point where it's like, I don't even listen to the show because you just piss me off every show.
Good.
I'm just like,
That's
okay.
why Kevin doesn't listen to it.
I'm like,
You want to hear about you getting your shit eat out?
Yeah.
or the lack thereof.
No, that happened. According to her.
I mean, it's
Did you change your mind?
Like,
it's
I'd be delighted to tell you.
it's really
It's going down.
it's really
He's staying on the old topic.
it's really how I feel
This
about that.
this 3/4 of the show has changed topics.
What do you change to?
Her vagina.
Yeah, overrated, man.
It can't.
That's
It's
awful.
worth at least $7 as of last week.
Woo.
$7 Wilson dollars.
$7 Wilson dollars, which is like pesos.
Why does he touch it? It becomes invaluable.
$7.
So back to where we were originally. Angie, how was your week?
How was your last Saturday?
So, let's say the summary of last Saturday is bitches ain't shit but tricks and hoes.
She wanted you to pay her to sit
No,
on your face?
no. We were gonna hang out, and then she was like, I'm really like nervous about meeting you. And I was like, okay.
After all
And
that.
then, yep, and then I was just like, all right, well.
After
fuck
here's
it.
my husband sitting in diarrhea, here's my husband's asshole, here's my vagina, now I'm nervous about meeting you.
Yeah, I was like, okay, whatever. But
That's
she wants
bullshit.
to hang out tonight, but I'm just like, I don't know if I can fuck with bitches at this. Like, I just
How? Okay,
it's too much.
because you live near the border of Ohio and Michigan, right?
Yeah,
Thanks for that.
literally
making his
2
paperwork so
miles
much
from
money.
the border.
You what?
Like 2 miles from
We're giving out a
Toledo.
lot of specifics on this week's episode. Just like where I work, where she lives. Wilson, you want to give out your social security number? No? Don't worry. The people who hacked Equifax have it.
Catch me tonight in Commerce in South Lyon.
He'll be jacking off in a truck and shitting behind a dumpster.
Pop-
Side note, new favorite text of my entire lifetime was
No,
this
we're going to talk
motherfucker-
about that.
This motherfucker sending me a text message. Oh, where is it? Okay, so... long before fucking Conversationville. There it is. Yesterday, so Friday morning at 5:33 in the morning when I got home. It's not my headphones. I didn't mean my headphones. I'm like sitting at home, just enjoying. I'm like, wow, my 3 years of life, professional life, is over. I'm about to change jobs, and I get a text message that just says, and this is it. No hi, no nothing. This is the exact text message. I
Well,
got.
to be fair, it wasn't like the first
no.
text message I
Not to
sent
be
you
fair.
the whole day.
This
We had a conversation earlier in the night.
No, we had one conversation when we made a trade, and that's it. And then you said, "This is the text was no hi, no nothing, just pooped outside by a trash can. I'm not proud of myself. I'm not proud of myself." Was included in that text.
Wait.
It's one sentence.
Do
What did
you?
you wipe- okay.
Yeah.
What did you wipe your ass with?
Oh my god.
Bottled water. And what could
Like a
possibly...
bidet.
A bidet?
He like put it between his ankles. And
Classy.
he like put it between his ankles and punched the sides of it.
Let me start this.
Open top was like the squeeze top.
No, it was an open top.
Did you have a friend
And
help you?
it just so happened that that water, there was a 24 pack of water.
He used 22 of them.
And I was at a stop. I was at a stop earlier in the night. There was a 22 pack of water, and like someone had just taken 2 waters out of it and threw the rest in a trash can. And so I was gonna pick up the.
So you used garbage water,
right? Stop.
To wipe your garbage butt while you shit next to a garbage can.
Can I?
Garbage person.
Can I?
This is why you turn me down every week, because you're a garbage person.
So what happened was I was at a particular place.
Yeah.
Where I went to go because I got to change the trash bags, and the trash bags were really heavy. And then I look inside the trash bag, and there's this shitload of unopened water.
Flint water.
Unopened water, and they were all in bottles. So, and the seals were on there. So it wasn't like someone had tampered with it. The seals were on there. It wasn't like it was a half-drank bottle of water. The seals were still on there, and there was a bunch of them. And I'm like, well, I need water in my truck in case I need to wash my hands because sometimes my eyes hurt, and I can't wipe my eyes with dirty hands, or else. Well, hand sanitizer, I know, but I don't like the way that it makes my hands smell after. I just don't. It makes my hands smell like liquor. I don't know why.
Get Bath and Body Works stuff. It'll smell like coconuts.
So I take all this water just so I don't have to try to lift this big garbage can up and put it on the truck. I take a lot of these waters and I'm like, you know what? I can use this for hand washing if I need to wipe my eyes out.
Butthole cleaning.
Now, I did not know I was going to need this. Now, also, I need to add in also that I went to
Taco Bell.
I ate B-dubs earlier that day. I had about 24 wings at that point. About
what sauce did you
11 of them. 11 of them was the lemon pepper. The other ones
were they boneless or not?
Yes, boneless.
It's
boneless
Thursday. You always get boneless on Thursday.
Well, and I like boneless wings no matter what day of the week.
Those are chicken nuggets.
I'm boneless over bone any day, right?
No, not chicken nuggets. Is mashed up chicken parts. I can hear me and them and not me. Anyway,
look at where
me nuts.
Look,
I know, but see, I'm in the. It's driving me fucking batty right now. I'm sorry. It's killing me. Anyways, sorry. Go ahead.
So what happened was, I ate all this B-dubs. I ate all of this B-dubs, and it didn't affect me until I was at my very last stop, somewhere here in Redford, on Chicago and Telegraph.
Somewhere here in Redford. Here's the exact location.
And so, normally I gotta poop at night because
Wait. You said Telegraph in West Chicago?
Uh-huh.
There's 6 gas stations right there.
There's also a plaza.
Yeah, that's just as good as a place to shit. Shit. There's 6 gas stations right there.
Maybe it was an emergency.
Which it had become.
Visible range, Angie.
What if... Okay, but he just said...
And also, I thought about it, and there's also a Dunkin' Donuts across the street
that
was open that I could have gone to.
Yes, there is.
You shit for no reason.
Yeah, I know. That's the key part of this story.
So it started where I had to poop just a little bit, and I'm like, I'm going to fart this out. I can make it the next hour.
Why did you do that?
These keys.
Look, guys.
Hold it.
Guys, if I could, I would have. This wasn't like, oh, I got to poop a little bit, let me just poop this. No, this was like bubble guts.
How do you determine a little bit from a lot? Because I can't.
I'm gonna.
What comes
will
out,
you guys
comes out.
give me a chance to finish this story?
No, you should.
No, we dragging this bitch out.
Yeah.
So I'm doing. I clean up or whatever. And last thing I do is do the trash bags. And I had to poop, and it started to get to the point where it was bubbling, and I couldn't even drive my truck because the sensation of folding my stomach was just putting pressure on my bowels, and I couldn't fart it out. I just could not fart it out because if I farted it out, something else was coming out in this. And so what happened was whoever's getting ready to walk in is walking in on a terrible disgust. Oh, hello.
Hey.
What up, though?
Someone got hyped for some shorts.
And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, I've gotta go. And this is I'm 30 minutes from the shop, at least 45 minutes away from getting home.
30
seconds from a gas station.
This is getting ready to leak out of my butt. So I empty out the trash. I empty out the trash into the big dumpster, which I normally do. And I'm like, I gotta go badly. I can't do nothing about this. So what I did was I just leaned up against the dumpster, pulled my pants down to about the fold of my knees, opened up my butt cheeks, and went.
Can you turn my headphones down, please, just for that?
I almost did that today.
She's off, too. Her mic is off.
Her mic is completely off.
She's off. I'm talking in your guys' mics. This
Hello?
sounds terrible.
Okay. Now I'm really loud.
Hi,
She's
Lindsay.
Okay.
I'm like not here. I can't.
You couldn't shit in like a trash bag. Like you just
He
shit
couldn't
on,
shit in a
on
Dunkin'
the
Donuts!
side of the dumpster.
I almost went in my backyard today.
That's at
Wait a minute,
least
that's
almost
unforgivable
allowable.
because it's your
Hey,
backyard.
Shut
Well,
up.
it's my mom's backyard.
Oh, your mom's
Fucking Dunkin'
backyard.
Donuts.
And there's dog shit there anyways. You know?
Be like, tell the difference.
Right.
No, fuck.
See if they even notice.
Right.
No, they won't notice. See, now I don't have to talk as loud.
My
So,
mom
okay,
smells
so
worse.
what we've learned from this story is I feel like you have a lot of incidences where you're driving
This was
your
the first
truck.
time. This is the first time
No,
this has ever
there's
happened.
been, but there's been another similar incident
right.
where we discussed that you need a kit in your car. You need fucking toilet paper. You need baby
like
wipes.
a biohazard disposal
Yes.
thing.
Lindsay nailing
you
it.
need hand sanitizer, and I will get you the fancy kind. That's fine, but
Yeah.
like you're disgusting, and you need like a
So
big.
what I did was I ended up leaning up against it.
You need
I
Imodium.
pressed my butt cheeks up against this dirty trash can, knowing I was going to shower within the next hour.
Yep.
Which I ended up not showering until the next day.
Stop it!
I'm kidding. No, it was like literally the first thing I did when I went home. But I pressed my butt cheeks up against it, and I went, and then I took the water that I got from a couple stops before, and kind of like a beautiful model, I went like, and just like poured it down down.
He's doing the Kim Kardashian.
I did it down the spine. I created this little stream down the spine of my back, and it went down my butthole.
Why can't you just reach out?
And then I just kind of like shook it out, pulled my pants up, and then what?
You should have like
the worst case of mud butt I've had in like 2 years.
Oh my!
11 years. When I was about 11, me and my boy Shantae walked to the Piggly Wiggly, which is about
Look at you,
where
girl.
the CVS is.
From here, okay.
Yeah, so you know, I forgot what we.
When you're
were
11,
going to
that's
go.
forever, by the way.
Yeah,
You walk to Kentucky.
Unless you were the older generation,
straight-
they walked everywhere in 10 inches of
Yeah.
snow. Whatever.
straight shot. You know, so you know, we was there trying to buy some shit, and he had the shit. You know, we was like, you know, the house is, you know, shit.
Welcome
down
to
the street,
Fanarchy,
you know?
shit store.
And he you know, he was like, no, I gotta go now. I'm like, well, where you gonna go? And he linked up against the back of the store and let it drop and was like, hand me that paper over there. So I had to come over there and hand him the motherfucking paper, and he wiped his ass and we walked home.
Yeah, I did.
Paper.
I'm
That's
pretty
an important element of that
No,
story.
well, I had napkins, but they were like
You had napkins.
used
You elected not to use
Wet the
them.
napkin
No, I
and fucking
did.
go.
No, I did use the napkins, but what
Why
I
was
will
that not
say
in your
was
story until now?
those are also napkins that I got at inside of because they were like folded up in the brown paper. So it's like they were folded up in the brown paper in the package.
Oh,
I
yeah,
found
yeah.
those also in the garbage a couple months ago.
Were they
so
like
I
square pieces? So you have the secret life where you're
Stop
fucking
being a garbage
dumpster.
person. Just stop.
I found all this shit.
He was like, hey, I'm a street sweeper now. Might as well just live in a dumpster.
I mean, I would. My
ever
dad
seen that
picked up
show?
shit off the side of the
Rock,
road,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
the semi
You
losers.
rock.
Like he picked up, you know, well, in the women's restroom they have like the the things to put sanitary pads and
Yeah.
whatnot in. There was like a box of them on the side of the road, brand new. He picked them up. It's like, oh, that looks like a mailbox.
It's still good. I can
Yeah.
just save it.
So like,
I'll just
I
get rid of all this bacteria and garbage and
well,
save it.
It's brand new. It's never been used, so it's not like you gotta, you know, you don't have to even clean it.
See,
But I was
Keith-
raised with that mentality. So
See Keith out back of a Joe Randazzo's. It's just an apple. It's just a little dirty. It's still good. It's still good.
look, man. I had look.
Out back of
I
a
keep-
butcher
I
shop,
kept,
like, this meat's just got a little dirt on it. I just cleaned it
That's
off.
what we
It's
call
still
it.
good.
When you got a shit, you keist.
Yeah, that's
Oh
the new
my
rule. Yeah,
God.
because by the way, I have a similar story to that too.
Keith Smith-
When
me
I was
too.
7,
Oh
I
my
had that
God.
story happen when I was 7, not 32.
Well, listen, I got it. Look, we got
Shit
it. We
happens.
have to keep a time of reference here. I don't think any of those gas stations were gonna. First, of all,
Dunkin' Donuts was open.
Dunkin' Donuts was open at
They would let
5:30 in the
you
morning.
I worked midnights driving. When I had the shit, I went home.
I was literally
Also,
down the
there's
street
a-
from here.
There's a
Up to
McDonald's.
Coney Island down the street.
There's a 7-Eleven around the corner.
I don't think you guys.
7-Elevens don't
I know
necessarily
that
have
it is.
public restrooms. When I worked at 7-Eleven, we did not have a public restroom.
Look,
Don't
you guys,
encourage
you guys.
family video.
You guys have to. You guys have to understand.
I relate though.
I know the plaza he's talking about. I know for a fact there's 3 24-hour gas stations within a half mile and a Dunkin' Donuts that was across the street. That
What
was
if
open.
you didn't think you were gonna make it?
I did not think. I'm literally.
Then
having,
you should have planned it out better because your job is sitting in a car.
You
can't plan shit, man. You can't.
It hits you? No, you can't plan for that.
I disagree.
And normally,
my bowels aren't on a schedule.
No, mine aren't on a schedule, but like they do fire off warning shots.
Supposed to be shit after every
Occasionally,
meal.
but not always.
Shit.
You get like
eat, expect the shit.
You get the Facebook notification in your body. It's like, oh.
He said he got multiple notifications.
I know that's the important.
You gotta
That's why
understand.
I'm not giving him a pass because every time he's had a story like this, it's like I ate 6 buckets of Rally's fries and then 4 bowls of cottage cheese and then pure liquid diarrhea and then I wondered why I shit weird for 2 days.
don't get mad at me because I got the metabolism of a baby.
No, it's not, I'm not mad at you for that. I'm not mad at you at all. I'm mad at you for complaining about weird shit stories.
I have a
when
question.
your diet consists of asshole lubrication.
Did any of y'all ever?
I ate a brick of cheese today. It was great.
Women question: Have any of y'all ever taken it in the butt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a trick question?
Is it no? Bad Santa. Do y'all? Does it take? How long does it take for y'all to shit right?
It depends on how that goes.
Sometimes it makes you feel like you have to shit.
Or sometimes it feels like you can't shit for like
True.
a very long time. For like a day.
I guess they call it like fudge packing.
It depends.
you know?
Yeah, it depends on if you tear it up or not.
But if you think about it, for women, peeing in public is almost like shitting in public because you have to like squat, make sure you don't get it on your legs. You need to wipe. You know, it's not simple like whipping your dick out.
Right.
So we almost have that with number 1 and number 2.
So,
True.
but I did literally cover my tracks. So after, because I pooped next to the corner of this dumpster,
Shit with a newspaper.
and then
out
what I
somewhere.
did was
I would have
took
shit
my
in the
truck-
dumpster.
No,
That's
it was
that's
next
kind
to
of
you.
rude to shit
No, she's
next
right.
to the dumpster.
You use the dumpster like a toilet seat.
Okay,
Someone has
okay,
to-
but this
that just
dumpster is high, man.
Dumpster.
That's dangerous.
No, you climb that
Like
motherfucker.
instead, I literally
What if
would
you open the door?
I literally would have had mud
What is a
in.
raccoon in
No,
there?
it wasn't. No, there wasn't one of those.
Shit on the raccoon.
It wasn't one with the door. It wasn't one with the door. But literally, I would have, if I would have fell in, I would have had mud butt, leaves, and like old garbage in my butt.
Who knows? You might have found your next treasure.
There might have been a potty training seat. There might have been a potty training seat. You could have sat on.
But also, so what I did was
Have an
after,
economy could have used later.
after I was done,
A
after
used
I was
condom?
He's using everything else again. He's like, oh, it's just got a little semen in it. It's still good. It's still good.
after I
I
was
just gotta
done.
pour it out, rinse it out.
Now it's stretched out to my size.
Yeah. This was a white guy condom. I'm fine.
I did cover my tracks because I felt bad and I felt like I felt really bad. So what I did
You
was
should.
I took my truck and then I just pushed it in reverse until I just pushed the garbage can right over it.
One day someone's gonna find that.
Well, it's behind an abandoned Happy's Pizza.
But one day. It might be fossilized. Like, it'll be in a museum.
That's what I imagine. I'm like, besides, it was foggy. It was dark. It was foggy, which would have been Thursday morning. It was dark and foggy.
In your camouflage.
Friday morning.
You know,
Friday morning. It was Friday morning.
Would that have been Friday morning?
Yeah, it was yesterday. When you couldn't see more than like maybe
Okay.
150.
Oh, yeah, because I was driving to an interview and it was super
Nonsensically
foggy. I thought
fogged
something
up,
was
yeah.
on fire because I didn't know there was fog.
the whole world.
Yeah. So that's
Like, from Sterling Heights to Redford, it was just like, well, I'm gonna die. Like, I guess I'm just gonna die on my way. My one last time coming over from Sterling Heights, I'm gonna have a semi stop in front of me because I can't see from here to the fucking corner.
That's okay. We know that I also dealt with my own mortality this week.
Oh yeah.
Segue.
Yeah, this is
Right.
now, man. This is getting ready to get sad. I need to find something funny to follow this up with. 'Cause
Your
this
own
is,
asshole.
Anyway.
I probably should let you tell your story and then come with the. Oh, by the way, I pooped next to a dumpster this week.
That's okay.
I'll think of something.
So
Good
I'm
luck.
looking for single people with good health insurance. Jason and Quise was like my second. He was my third.
I finally
My
win
bad.
at something.
Because I might have cervical cancer. I have to go get like a biopsy. So
I might be getting a job at Prairie Colonitor.
Oh my god. Do you want to get married? So that's all. Now accepting applications.
That's the story.
We should make a formal application for you. I love doing shit like that.
That's
like
fine. Please.
Yeah.
But as we just discussed, Jason's credit score is too low.
Mine is horrible. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm black. He black too.
Yeah, that's you start.
What
with
does that mean?
Like we start negative 750.
Yeah. They started this when you're learning in high. You remember the economic class? They're like, credit scores go from 350 to 900. They're like, credit scores start at 7. Your credit just started at 7, and it takes you 35 years, and you can get to a 580. You can get you a Value City furniture credit card.
And also because most of us black people got like electric bills and houses in our names by the time we're 3 years old.
That's
I am
true.
happy to say that my mother had a very good job. I lived a Chrysler life, and she didn't take.
So you're like Token from South Park.
Yes.
Golden parachute.
See, I was hit with all the credit cards at 18. They're like, you have a decent job. You've worked there for a year. You want a $5,000 limit credit card? Okay. You want a $10,000 limit credit card? Okay, let me go buy some McDonald's. So I'm, paying off McDonald's.
A $4 McDonald's meal turns into like $12.
Or more, yeah.
40,
Yeah, the interest rate.
At this point, she's what, 44 years old, right? So
what? Do I honestly look like I'm 44 years old?
No, but I mean the way credit APR hits.
In fact,
oh yeah.
In fact, Angie looks younger than you.
Really?
He's just mad.
Are you
Wilson
saying
looks
that
younger.
I look old?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna die and I already look old.
Shit.
I'm old as far as like my body aches. Like I'm 20 years older than I am. It's terrible.
Case, you just laid a trap. I fell into it.
He did it on purpose because he's still salty.
He's just salty that he looks so old compared to Wilson.
I mean,
Wilson cleans up.
I'll do my swag from last week.
I don't think you look old. I think you look like mature in a good way.
Mature. No, mature is what you put in porn searches to look for old bitches.
Yes, that's true.
Mature saggy tits. That's
wait. I have a solution for this. Okay, so I just got Groupon. And and Botox was like 60%
I don't need no fucking Botox.
No, they actually use Botox for migraines and like different pains. Like I know a couple people who get Botox injections for their migraines, and it actually helps.
You could get it because you're old.
I'm sorry, Keith.
And then your insurance will pay for it.
Oh.
Your insurance will pay for Botox if it's for migraines.
She doesn't have insurance.
Yes,
that's
the original problem here.
Future goals.
Oh, hashtag future goals. Okay.
My wife getting
Squad
a
goals.
slight titty reduction.
You can take some of that extra non-cancerous titty and give it to you.
I don't want implants, but I want my boobs to be lifted, like up more, like. Because I was fatter, and so my boobs were bigger because I was fatter, and now, like, the skin is stretched out. What?
No one in the world saw Wilson. All of you guys were looking down. Wilson took both hands, put them in his armpits, and went, huh?
Like, I got a bra. Like, if I don't have a bra,
awesome.
Like, I feel like in 10 to 20 years, I'm going to be like one of those African ladies with, like, their boobs hanging down. Like,
that's how I feel about
it. I just want the skin to be lifted.
I heard it. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I heard if you wear a bra 24/7, it kind of helps contradict that.
The jury's out. It's like,
I don't believe that. I think
let him breathe.
Yeah, I think what really helps is like when I was boxing, like if you just work like the
work
upper,
out.
then like my boobs were like way higher than they are right now. Like last year, they were like
if your boobs
do a lot of
are
rowing.
Larger, not wearing a bra is not going to help you because gravity.
No, ask my neighbors this morning when I was outside.
Well, me and Bobby were talking about like we should go join a nudist colony.
Okay.
That one got Keith. She's like, my boobs are big. I should join a nudist colony. He's like, stop my phone. I'm not going to get my phone anymore.
I'm scared because I don't want to walk through there. My dick get
But
hard
see,
and everything.
No, that's like a faux pas. Like you're not allowed to do that.
Right? See,
like they kick you out.
My only thing
What if
is,
you can't control it?
My shit gonna
I would need like a thong or something, like because my vagina is like a sticky buddy. Like it picks shit up. If I sat on something like we've got cats, so if I like sit on the couch, like it's like I gotta go clean myself because I got cat hair on my vagina.
I don't know what this is.
It's a sticky buddy. You know?
It's also a Dicky Buddy.
True. Dicky Buddy first, Dicky Buddy second.
I just think about everybody sitting on like the same like seats and like
Right,
they
that's
have,
why I would
like,
want that covered. Like, you know what I mean?
Gross.
I don't know. I would be a selective nudist, I guess. I don't care if you see my ass or my tits. Like, I don't even care if you see my vagina. I just don't want shit all over
If
it.
you see my dick, I just don't want my shit to get hard.
So, are you
I'm
trying to
thinking
say
about
that
it.
your pussy's a Post-it note?
It's not.
No, it's like that hand.
sticky.
It's like that hand you won in the
Oh,
fucking
Yeah.
in the vending machine.
Yeah, and it gets
And
it
you
picks
throw
shit
it,
up.
and within a day, it's just crumbs,
Yeah.
guaranteed. And you try
Well,
to
my
throw it in
vagina
your
doesn't turn to crumbs.
Well, I know. I
but,
assume you
yeah.
maintain
Now,
things.
see,
But
now I'm on a whole nother thought level because I'm thinking the tip of an elephant's trunk, how it can pick up a pen.
oh no, this.
I mean, I can do that.
See?
Muscles. You have muscles to do
But
that.
she's talking about its natural state, not its natural abilities.
Well, that's not even a
Have you
natural
ever
ability.
tried
You
to
gotta
like,
learn how
pick
to use that
anything
shit.
up with it?
We were supposed to be talking.
I don't know.
Good question.
I should try that. I should try that and report back.
Go home.
I can pick up shit with my toes, so why not my pussy?
I love
Oh.
Lindsay. I'm so glad she shows up every week.
I'm
She
really
shows
glad.
up.
I'm really
Every
glad I
few
needed a
weeks.
John Denver album today. You just made.
I explained that to my mom because I was like, "Yeah, I gotta go run to the podcast. I gotta skip out on the garage sale for a little bit.
I gotta go talk about my vagina to a bunch of
I
strangers.
gotta go deliver a John Denver album to Quise."
She's like, which
I
one?
appreciate it.
Because my mom listens to John Denver too.
She's
so.
like, which one? Rocky Mountain High? And you're like, yes.
Wow, Lindsay.
You now graphically know about her vagina.
It's all in my head.
All those people that were jerking off to your arm, like they finished at the beginning of the story.
I've got. I mean,
It's like, oh God!
I've got a 45-minute window between when I get home and when I have to go to work. Thank you for that, Lindsay.
Hold on. Are you gonna get in trouble?
For that,
No, but
Just tell her
your
to stop
titties and pussy.
listening.
You gonna get? Are you gonna get in trouble?
man, you know what's funny? You never fucking know because I could talk. I could talk about something that's just really. Well, first off, she doesn't listen anymore because
Good.
no, because if she listens, I get the texts. I get the text. She can't help herself. I get the text.
Okay, so she listens, and when you lay
She hasn't. She hasn't. Well, she hasn't listened. She hasn't listened since we came back. So
Since what, fucking March?
no, I mean since we came back from summer
so
break.
August, okay.
I make Bobby sit down with me and listen to him.
Uh-huh.
Listen
I
to-
can't get my closest friends to listen. I can't get people who love me, people who've spent their whole life hanging out with me. I'm
That
like,
was something else I
hey,
wanted.
can you listen to my show? They're like, no, fuck you.
That's something else. That's something else I want to say. This is something I'm coming to terms with when it comes to us on SRD. We are truly the outsiders. We are truly the outsiders.
The only person on SRD who listens to us actively is Roger.
I think Jeff
Yeah, I was
does
gonna
from
say,
time
I
to
know
time.
Roger does.
I think
Raj.
I think Jeff does
I
from.
miss Roger.
Oh, Roger's the shit. No, like Jeff does from time to time, but like we don't get invited to other shows.
No, there's a lot of crossover on other shows. I do.
No,
I do.
Are they
You're
afraid?
America's
you everybody
sweetheart.
motherfucking know you day one. Shit, just go.
Maybe they're afraid we're gonna, upstage them.
Like no, like
I just kept starting new shows and putting them on the
like, yeah, like nobody, nobody invite, and it's part of being Zug Island, where like nobody really fucks with us like that, and it's like, you know what, fuck that, we'll be on our own little thing.
I mean, that's how it kind of been my whole life.
We're never.
Yeah.
I'm that
That's true,
person.
yeah.
It's
too.
it's kind of like how it's all been for us, except for Wilson, who everybody loves.
because he looks so young.
Right.
He's
Okay.
totally token.
Totally token.
He like glows.
Who is Quise then? Mintberry Crunch?
I have that like Funko Pop.
Do you really?
I got into those yet so bad, but it's so addicting.
You looked so
It's
like
so
your,
dumb,
your
but
shoulders, your body language changed when you talked to the Funko Pop. Like, oh, fuck.
Real
because
quick.
I buy them and then I love them, but then I feel so guilty like I spent money. I'm just like hoping it's like Beanie Babies. I'm hoping it's not, but it is.
Look, if you want to supplement your income, just start a fucking premium Snapchat. Show me your sticky ass vagina. You'll
oh
get a
my
lot
God.
of money.
Oh my God.
Patreon.
Not the same for nudity, but yeah. I mean, maybe you've seen a lot more. I didn't even know that was an option until you mentioned it last. Was it last week or the week
Patreon?
before? Yeah, no, that you could use Patreon to support nudity.
I think maybe if Bobby lost his job, he'd be okay with it, but right now he'd probably be like,
Yeah, you just keep it on the low low.
Stick it
Payments to your
out.
PayPal. You know, you don't have to change. Your username doesn't have to be your name. It can be Arm Girl.
Yeah, just
arm.
Real quick, do you have any thoughts on the Lions win Sunday?
Yeah, you know what was fucked up? I lost by like 20, and I had Galladay on the bench, and he would have got me that.
Yeah, 20. He would have.
I did it because of statistics, because I got Wright from Chicago. There's nobody over there, so he is the go-to guy in receiving anyway. And the running back is eating it up. So yeah,
both of them, Jordan Howard and Tariq Cohen.
But I'm doing good. This week I lost in fantasy, but yeah,
3-0.
Lions is the shit.
No.
Potential, because it's only one game, and the defense, Zettel, Quinn, you don't even have to speak on him, but they look good.
Speaking of fantasy, by the way,
look good.
This is our first Fanarchy rivalry we're playing this week, buddy. Mm-hmm. Keith and I are playing this week, and I'm going to win.
What are you at? You guys started a league?
Yeah, SRD league.
Do you want to get in? We have an open team.
Okay. Yeah, we do have a team available.
Okay.
Like it has players on it. You might just have to do something.
I really wanted to try fantasy football.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, this is a good time for you to try because you have barely any players. Okay, cool. Yeah, you can take.
You need someone to get last place.
And you start 1-0.
Oh, awesome.
And you start 1-0 because
and you have one day to set your lineup, so we got to do this shit while you're here.
Well, I'm helping my mom with picks. She started they're playing against the spread basically, but against each other, and I'm trying. So
real quick, anybody has any thoughts on the Jemele Hill?
Yes, I'm sorry.
No,
I'm so proud of shit. I forgot his name.
Michael Smith,
co-host, and other people that don't want. That's not because they want to be replaced. They trying to replace her, and they like, well, you work with this person, and everybody's like, I'm not working.
It was all they tried to get someone else black to take her place for a few days because they were going to take her off air, and everyone that they tried to get, they all said no in solidarity with her.
I appreciate it because this is. Like I said, we got the wrong leaders. We look up to the wrong people. So for these entertainers,
we can't joke about
it. To hold up and show solidarity.
Okay,
that shows that we
study a lot of chemistry.
So
yeah, no, I wish everybody had that kind of solidarity that she.
Can you make meth too?
Right,
that's the way we.
If I applied
the
myself,
strength of the UAW.
But all of
I'm kind of leaning more
so
towards acid though.
Because.
Yeah.
To be honest,
he wants an apology when he disrespected so
if
many
anything,
people throughout the years. Fuck his presidency, but all the people he's disrespected, he never apologized, but he wants her to apologize
because he's Kim Jong-un, but white guy form.
He is.
My favorite.
He literally tweeted like 3 years ago that Barack Obama's a racist. He does the exact same shit that he does.
My favorite big titty press secretary, Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Said the White House is calling for a firing.
I think that's one of the more outrageous comments that anyone could make, and certainly something that I think is a fireable offense by ESPN.
If the president was so clear, as you said, why do you think influential African-American figures are saying things like
I'm not going to speak for that individual, but I know that the president has met, again, with people like Senator Scott, who are highly respected leaders in the African-American community. He's committed to working with them to bring the country together. I think that's where we need to be focused, not on outrageous statements like that one.
It's really funny that they're calling for her firing, for Jemele Hill calling Trump a white supremacist when he built his political career on racism. And
he doesn't think that though.
And he's called people racist, and it's I'm very proud of Jemele Hill. I mean, Jemele Hill calls Trump a white supremacist, so what ends up in her Twitter mentions a bunch of "you're a stupid nigger."
Well, they don't understand.
That's the go-to. When when they have nothing else. They have that.
And now ESPN is in this weird place because John Skipper, who's the president of ESPN, is known more. Since he's been the president of ESPN, he's tried to make ESPN more diversified. So before, even if you look at about 5 years ago, there wasn't many diverse voices. There wasn't many minority voices having national shows. It used to be just Mike and Mike, and then there was Colin Cowherd, and then there was Jim Rome, who had a show for a little bit.
Bill Simmons.
Bill Simmons never had a national show. Yeah, we're talking about ESPN Radio.
He created his own fucking ESPN though for a minute.
Who?
Grantland.
Oh yeah. But but there was only white voices out there on ESPN Radio, and then within the last 5 years, you now have LZ Granderson, a Detroit native.
Stephen A. Smith.
You have Stephen A. Smith, but his radio show was on Mad Dog Radio for a little bit, and then it came back to ESPN. You have Dan Levitard, who's on there. You have Bomani Jones, which actually is kind of funny because anybody who gets with Levitard eventually gets their own show. So the diversity really is coming from Levitard because from his whole tree of people. But he's all about trying to make the voices diverse. The people that are hated the most are the minorities that have opinion places, that have opinion platforms.
Well, right. I mean, if you're a minority and you're just trying to, like, I don't know, be white, and you know what I mean? Like, just fit in and go with what you need to do to get to that position. Like, you know what I mean? Of course, they're not going to have a problem with that person because they're doing whatever they say. You know, they don't want someone who's going to speak out against what they believe or whatever.
Right.
Well, no, it's all just, you know, look how diverse we are. Shut up, Darky. Like, they don't want anybody to actually...
They don't...
Right, they
view them as less.
Yeah,
like, they don't view them as fully people.
They want the white black people. You know what I mean?
It's like when you see,
That's
like...
why I was in the lobby of Crane.
It's like when bros get... Like, straight bros get a girlfriend that has a mind, and they're like, wait, hold on, no, wait, you have opinions on stuff?
Right, yes.
You're just
exactly.
Here. And that's what they do, but the difference in that situation... what they're trying to do in this situation is what you see done on, like, network TV shows, where they pigeonhole women into just being a role of, like, you guys. They want that from black people.
Well, or Amy Schumer, who's just pussy jokes.
Yeah. Well, do your own black jokes over there, and then come over here, we'll talk about quote-unquote real issues, also known as white issues.
Yeah, Jemele Hill is not only a black person, but she's also a woman, and that doubles down on the ignorance on top of it.
And that gives Trump a hate boner.
They probably get off on the fact that they have a minority there not speaking out and just doing what they're told. Yeah. You know what I mean? They probably get off on that. They're like, you know...
ESPN wants that, but also ESPN is in this weird state where everyone's saying that ESPN has gone more liberal. They're only saying they're going more liberal because they're giving more voices to minorities.
Yeah,
who are going to speak on different issues. Where ESPN for the last 40 years has all been just white guys talking about straight sports who have nothing to protest. Like we've said it on the show before, the middle-aged white man has nothing to protest, nothing at all. Women have women's rights, black people have black people rights.
But they get jealous that they don't have anything to protest.
So they just make up things. So they're like
Confederate flag or something.
They're
dumb.
like, well, Kurt Schilling got fired for his political views. Kurt Schilling got fired because he kept being told stop doing that, and he kept doing it. And I'll tell you what, if Jemele Hill does this again, she's going to get the same treatment. I love arguing with.
But she knows well, you know the ramifications. So for her speaking up, I'm not mad. But if she keeps it on the hush to keep her nice income coming in, I'm not hating on her because she still has to make a motherfucking living. But she already proved herself to me. So if she doesn't say another motherfucking thing on ESPN, I know that's for her to keep her job to sustain her family.
And you know what? This isn't a good comparison necessarily, but if you think about it, like with Kid Rock and all that, you know, political bullshit with, you know, the Confederate flag and this and that and the other thing, like part of me thinks it's because that sells. He sells to that crowd, so why is he going to say anything against it? I mean, he's got a black son, but he's not going to say, oh, you know, this is all bad because he makes money off of it.
Well,
I agree.
The problem with Kid Rock is my big problem with him is he started out doing things for the black culture.
Yeah.
So he started out as a DJ. Then, like, the career arc of Kid Rock, are you about to disagree with what I'm saying?
No, I agree 100%.
He started as a DJ in hip hop. Then he went to a rapper, and then he went to a rock rapper. That's where he started going to.
Yeah.
And then he became straight rock, and then he went to country rock, and now it's just straight country. And
now, if I may just put your hand back up for that graph.
It's more like this.
No, it's like this. It's like DJ, rap, rock, country.
As far as sales
go, country skyrocketed.
But not as far as, like, you know, morality and what he does. Like, that's more like, dude,
I can tell you.
Well, yeah, they're two different opposing charges.
Yeah. I have a mixed kid, and I tell you sometimes the thing that my kid's mom says can be very questionable.
Has she ever called you a nigga?
No, but it goes down.
Why would you, if you're gonna have an opinion like that or think like that, why would you get involved with somebody?
Because some people love having mixed kids because mixed kids are perceived to be just beautiful. They just don't necessarily want the black. They just don't necessarily want the black parent.
In that bothers me.
It does, but whatever. We come back with Mayor and picks next.
I eat pears now and shit like that.
You're listening to on KRadioBroadcasting.com.
Shout out to all the pear.
This thing right here is letting all the ladies know what guys talk about. The finer things in life. Check it out. Ooh, that dress so scandalous. You know another nigga couldn't handle it. So you shaking that thing like who's the ish? The look in your eyes so devilish. You like to dance on the hip hop spots.
Like that made it even better.
We're gonna do some picks in a second. We're gonna call Mayor here in a second. See what she's up to. Jason is here. Lindsay is here. Wilson.
What?
Jason, Lindsay, Wilson, and Angie is here. Okay. Well, what was I doing here? I'm gonna do picks
Singing
in
about
a second.
thongs.
Does anybody have anything that they want to say real quick?
No.
What he just said was, "Hey guys, can you stall?" Which I think we can.
Yeah, we could handle that.
We're doing a pretty good job at it.
I almost shit myself one time.
Oh my god, that's just a one-time thing for you?
No,
I
there's
actually
been
shit
other
myself
times.
once.
Okay, me too.
I had really
it happened.
Hey.
Hey.
Mayor, I have a question for you.
Good stall. Good job.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Have you ever had to
the juicy details?
Have you ever had to poop outside by a dumpster?
No.
Outside.
Have you ever had to poop outside?
One time when I was camping.
Okay.
Have you ever had an emergency shit outside?
No, God, no.
If you were,
Have you ever
if
shit
you hold on a
yourself?
second, I have a question. If you were in visible range of a place you knew you could shit, but you had an emergency shit, would you shit on the ground instead?
She thought about it.
Or she didn't hear me. I don't
The
know.
hard-hitting question.
Mayor's kind of a prude, so she would look. I was in a situation where I absolutely
Pavement
had
or
to-
grass?
Back. I said if I was
Grass,
if I was at a
definitely.
place that had a bathroom, I'd go to the place. I would not poop outside.
Okay, well, see, here's the thing: is that first off,
guano.
I don't think that the gas stations would have let me poop there, but I could have
Dunkin' Donuts.
I could have gone to Dunkin', which I didn't think
They
about until like
didn't know
days
what
later.
you were gonna do.
Some Dunkin' Donuts lock their doors at night.
This
You
one
have to,
does.
like, ask
This
them.
one is 5:30 in the morning. They're open.
They're open.
So what
I'm gonna
time
show
did it
you
happen
guys
at?
the map of where he was.
What time did this happen at?
5:30 in the morning.
So you had multiple options.
I did not
But-
have multiple options.
Yes, you did.
When it hit, would you be able to have
guys,
make it?
listen.
Would you make
Here.
it?
Okay. See this little orange dot right here?
Uh-huh.
That's Dunkin' Donuts. Wilson?
Okay.
Okay.
See that orange dot in the middle of the screen? That's
Yeah.
Dunkin' Donuts, okay?
Oh, I know where he at.
He was right the fuck here.
Well, I was behind that plaza.
He was right here.
I don't know. I've had shits that hit me that I wouldn't have been able to make that.
Thank you. I'm
Like-
glad somebody is on my side. Mary,
Like I said, I
how's your
shit
week been?
myself one time. It was just. a little
My week was kind of shitty.
So was mine.
Yeah.
Seems
Mine
to have
was
been the
too.
theme here.
The past
For
few
lack
days
of better
are
words.
terrible. Something must be going around.
Yeah.
They're gonna recall something soon, like cheese or.
Probably, yeah. We'll find out secretly that there was meat with E. coli.
They need,
Yeah, yeah.
they need to recall B-Dubs.
Sweet. Yes, it worked.
What? What worked?
The grub killer on my front lawn.
Oh, I thought you
Nice.
just wanted to get us talking about shit.
No, I had a couple like really dead patches of grass, and I like peeled them up. They like peeled up like old wallpaper or
Oh
something.
my god.
And I looked, there was like hundreds and hundreds of grubs. So I got a grub spray, and I sprayed it earlier today, and I just peeled up another dead patch, and they're dead. So I eradicated them.
Successful adulting. Way to go.
This is the most hype-ass Fanarchy ever. We're talking about our own fantasy teams, health insurance, and lawn
Isn't that
care.
crazy when you get older? Like that's exciting.
Oh no, let me
but
tell
it's
you,
awesome. But it's
I just got a washer and dryer yesterday,
Oh,
and
man,
I
even more
literally
domestic.
drove home last night, and I was
Like,
like,
you're
I'm gonna
proud
get
of yourself.
fucking OxyClean. Like I was so
Oh,
excited.
it's like when I got my
"I'm
new
getting my
vacuum. I couldn't.
Billy
wait
Mays
to
here.
Pull that puppy out and vacuum. the
I'm
floor.
excited. I'm excited at the thought of saving up to go buy a trailer.
and some toilet
Where?
paper.
Where?
I don't know. I want to go buy one though.
There's one right across the street from me that they just moved in, brand new. But it's out in
Neighbors.
Canton.
I was so happy when we opened a closet in my house that we had never opened and found 3 vacuums. It's like, oh
What?
my god.
Why did you never open a closet?
Because we're dudes. We don't open closets.
Oh man, I'm such an investigator. Like I look through everything. I love finding shit.
Oh, you would love
So
my
when-
Especially in
I'm
video
nosy.
games.
So the first time you spent the night at your man's house and he left you there, Snoop.
I looked a little bit. I found a rhyme dictionary, which was pretty cool. And like, yeah, I snooped a little bit, but I mean, also the first time I stayed the night at his house, he gave me a key, so it wasn't like
Wow, he was moving fast.
Right?
Some of them aren't dead yet, and they're just like writhe. They're like dying, writhing like slowly.
Mayor's on her
I
own
would
program.
get the spray and drown them in
Yeah.
it.
Oh no, I it's all gone. I doused my yard with it, but no, they're like slow. Like,
Keith.
some of them are already dead, and some of them are like, I'm dying.
Mayor,
I'm dying.
Mayor, just call Keese at 5 in the morning. Come shit on your grubs.
Mary, ready to get in some pics?
And then you could
Sure.
be a good day.
Help me get back upstairs in my.
Yeah. And who put my pen back in the thing?
God, that thing must have been here for like 7 months.
No, I just took it out today.
It would be you.
No, I didn't. No.
One of us is imbibed from marijuana. And also,
More than one of us.
And also, no, wait, between those conversations. And also owned that pen prior to the conversation. So I'm going to guess probably you.
Week 2 in the NFL, but before we get into week 2, let's review week 1. Angie was the only one to get Cleveland and Pittsburgh wrong.
It's okay. I would have got it. No, I would have picked it.
All right, Hunter, come on.
I was the only one to get Indianapolis, LA Rams wrong. We all got Atlanta, Chicago, Carolina, and San Francisco right. We all got Houston and Jacksonville wrong.
Yep.
Mayor and Angie got the +2 on Thursday. For the week, Jason was DFL at 8-8.
Yeah.
Mayor went,
Yeah.
Mayor went 11-5. Tim went 10-5. Wilson went 10-6. Angie went 11-5. And I went 9-7.
It's that championship hangover. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think so.
I got the championship hangover. I played a
Yeah.
long postseason last year. You know,
Yeah.
when you win, you come out losing. It's okay.
Starting with Sunday, 0-1 Cleveland at 1-0 Baltimore. Jason.
Baltimore.
He's going to go with those Nevermores. Wilson. He is going to go with the Baltimore Ravens. Mayor.
I'm sorry. I gotta go, Jenny. I'll see ya.
Bye, Jenny.
Bye, Jenny. Angie.
Yeah, come back to me.
Baltimore, Cleveland.
She is going to go with those
Oh.
Browns. Lindsay.
Baltimore.
She is going to go with those Baltimore Ravens. Mayor.
1 second. Does anybody have the spread up right now?
-9 Baltimore.
Yep. Oh, Baltimore.
She is going to go with those Baltimore Nevermores, and I am going to go with those Baltimore Bashitties. 1-0 Buffalo at 1-0 Carolina. Jason.
Okay. But I'll come back around.
What the hell is this? What the fuck is this?
Who are you
At
picking?
Carolina.
Wilson.
Carolina.
At
Fine.
Carolina.
Carolina.
He's going to go with those Carolina Fig Newtons.
It's at Carolina.
Yeah.
It is
All
at
right.
Carolina.
Yeah.
He is going to go with those Carolina Fig Newtons. Mayor.
I am going with Carolina as well.
She is going to go with those Carolina Panthers. Angie.
Buffalo.
She is going to go with Bills Mafia. Lindsay.
Carolina.
She is going to go with those Fig Newtons, and I am going to join you guys and go with the Fig Newtons. Mayor, or Angie, you're going Red Solo Cup. You have to drink a beer right now.
Didn't you do a couple?
She did.
She did. 0-1 Arizona at 0-1 Indianapolis Colts. Jason,
Arizona.
He's gonna go with those Arizona Cardinals. Wilson.
Luck plan.
No.
Arizona.
He is gonna go with those Arizona Cardinals. Mayor.
I put that in there, Gabe. The game keeps freaking distracting me. Who's this now?
Arizona, Indianapolis.
Arizona, Indianapolis.
She's gonna go with those Arizona Cardinals. Angie.
I'll go Arizona.
She is gonna go with the Arizona Cardinals. Lindsay.
Arizona.
She is gonna go with those Arizona Cardinals, and I am gonna join everyone and go with the Arizona Cardinals. 0-1 Tennessee at 1-0 Jacksonville. Jason.
Tennessee. Where?
He is going to go with the Mariota Express. Jason.
Where? I just said Tennessee.
Wilson. It's
Where?
in Jacksonville.
I'm riding the Fournette train.
He is going to go with the Fournette Express. Mayor.
Woo woo! Yeah, getting on the Jacksonville train.
She's going to hop back on her normal Jacksonville train. Angie. She is going to go with those Tennessee Titans. Lindsay.
I'm actually going Jacksonville.
She is going to go with the Jaguars of Jacksonville, and I am going to go with the Mariota Express. 1-0 Philly at 1-0 Kansas City. Jason.
Kansas City.
He is going to go with those KCMOs. Wilson.
Where?
In Kansas City.
Hunt fucked me first game. I think I got to see if it's real, so Kansas City.
He is going to go with those KC Chefs. Mayor.
KC.
She is going to go with those KC Chefs. Angie.
Kansas.
She is going to go with We're No Longer in Kansas. Lindsay.
KCT.
She is going to go with the KCT, and I am going to join everyone and go with the Andy Reid Express. You know, no. Fuck that. I'm going to go with Philly. I'm going to fly Eagle Fly. Fuck that. I'm going to go Red Solo Cup. 0-1 New England at 0-1 New Orleans. Jason.
New England.
He's going to go with those New England Patriots. Wilson.
They don't lose twice. New England.
He's going to go with those New England Patriots. Mayor.
Yep, the Pats.
She is going to go Pat Go. Angie.
Whatever's not the Patriots.
She is going to go with those New Orleans titties. Lindsay.
Oh my God, I'm so torn right now.
Do it. Come to the dark side.
This might be the only time of the season, but I'm going to go with the Patriots.
She is going to go with her Brady Express. 1-0 Minnesota at 1-0 Pittsburgh.
Who are you going with?
I'm going to go with New England.
I definitely need to come up with something more derogatory to call me.
Okay, the Bella Cheats.
Yeah, I'm
Old English.
I'm going to watch some South Park and get some good.
I haven't seen a new episode this week, so I got to.
It was pretty good.
Pretty good. Do they seem like they're back on it?
They're still sticking with, like, I feel like semi-relevant current topics. You know what I mean? Like, as far as how they did with the election and whatnot, but it was good. It wasn't just, like, careless funny with the hidden, you know, subconscious message. It was more in-your-face message.
Legends! 1-0 Minnesota at 1-0 Pittsburgh. Jason. He is going to go with those Pittsburgh Steelers. Wilson.
Pittsburgh at home.
He's going with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Mayor.
Black and yellow, black and yellow.
She is going to go with the Pittsburgh Wiz Khalifa. Angie. She's going to go with Minnesota, don't you know? If you're going to have a really good week or a really bad week, you have to pick one or the other.
Gambling lady.
Lindsay.
Oh. Duh. Pittsburgh.
She is going to go with the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Had a moment,
and
sorry.
I am going to go with those Pittsburgh Tomlins to make it out of Pittsburgh alive. 0-1 Chicago at 0-1 Chicago at 0-0 Tampa Bay. Jason. He's going to go with the Winstons. Wilson. He is going to go with those Grutons. Mayor.
Tampa.
She is going to go with the Tampa Bay Yucks. Angie. She is going to go with those Chicago Bears. Lindsay.
She's going to go fucking
Tampa Bay racist. Rapist.
She's going to go.
Either way, it's bad.
She's going to go with the rapist, and I am going to go with Winston and them boys. 0-0 Miami at 0-1 LA Chargers. Jason. He is going to go with Miami. Wilson.
I don't seem like I'm following you, but Miami, man.
He is going to also go with Miami. Mayor.
Miami.
She is going to go with the land of sun and no property right now because it all got blown away. Someone actually tried to tell me that Hurricane Irma was all fake.
Was their name Rush Limbaugh?
I've heard people talking about it
just
being
about to say that.
manufactured by the secret government.
Oh, HARP?
It was the left agenda trying to push the climate change agenda.
I think you saw the person I was arguing with, right? Mayor?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, she needs to overcome her addiction. Angie.
Miami.
She is going to go with those Levitards. Lindsay.
I feel bad picking all these home teams, but I'm going to go with the Chargers.
She is going to go with the whale's vagina, and I am going to go with my Levitards.
Did Mayor pick them?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
0-1 New York Football Jets at 1-0 Oakland. Jason. He is going to go with those Oakland Lynches.
Is
Wilson.
there anyone not picking Oakland?
Yeah, right now. Is anybody?
Oakland. All day.
Are you gonna pick the Jets, Angie?
Angie's gonna go with the football Jets,
and the rest of us will win that.
I think this is an experiment.
Wilson is going lynch mob. Mayor's going lynch mob. Lindsay's going lynch mob. I'm going with the double middle fingers and the lynch mob. 1-0 Dallas at 1-0 Denver. Jason. He is gonna go with those Dallas Cowboys. Wilson.
Quarterback is so suspect, man. Yeah, he is too good.
He is going to go with the John Denver.
It's a big deal.
Yep, Broncos.
She is going to go with the Simeons. Angie.
Denver.
She is going to go with the John Denver. Lindsay.
I feel like I've been let down on picking Dallas last year, but I'm going with Denver still.
She is going to also go with the Denver Vons. And I am going to also... No, you know what? I'm going to go with those Dakota Range.
You already explained this earlier, Jason, why this is happening.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot that.
0-1 racial slurs at 1-0 LA Rams. Jason.
Give me the Rams.
He is going to let it ram up in you. Wilson.
What was that, Washington?
Yeah.
Okay. At Washington?
No,
LA.
Rams suspect. Washington.
He is going to go with the racial slurs. Mayor.
I got to go with the racial slurs.
She, for the second week in a row, is going to go with the racial slurs. Angie.
Rams.
She is going to go and get it rammed in her. Lindsay.
I'm washing tons of shit off the pavement.
Washing your tons of shit off the
Washing tons of shit off the pavement.
She is going to go with the racial
That's
slurs.
the best pick of the year so far. Because you didn't even get it.
And I am
like 13 seconds.
And I am going to go with the LA Rams. 0-1 San Francisco at 0-1 Seattle.
Seattle.
He is going to go with Seattle
by a mile.
Yeah, anyone else not going with
anybody
Seattle?
picking San Francisco?
I'm going to take a seat.
The fun in the picks is going to each individual person.
I know, but this is
seeing what they say.
This is one of the two nonsense games of the year, though. Like, you know where this is going,
Plus,
right?
I talked too much. I made it too long.
No.
You're going, Wilson. He is going to go with the Seahawks by the seashore. Mayor.
I'm going to go with the Seattle Starbucks.
She is going to go with the Starbucks. Angie.
I'll go with what's not Seattle.
Ooh. She is
Just
going to
because.
go with the...
She's going to take a knee.
They're giving 2 touchdowns to San Francisco in the line, by the way.
Yeah, I think the line's 14 points.
Yeah, it is 14.
15.
Lindsay.
Don't mind if I repeat myself, but I'm going to take a seat.
She is going to take a knee and go with the...
No, a seat.
Seattle.
Oh.
Seattle.
Okay. Well, look, they both have protesters on both sides,
But
right?
Seattle. Like, it says seat.
I am going to go with...
You're on playing on a different level. You can't get it.
Sunday night, 1-0 Green Bay at 1-0 Atlanta Wilson. Jason. He is going to go with Go Pack Go. Wilson.
Julio!
He is going to go with Julio. Mayor.
Go Pack Go.
She is going to Go Pack Go. Angie. She is going to go with Atlanta to open up their stadium. Lindsay.
I'm developing an aversion to Green Bay, so I'm going to go with Atlanta.
She's going to go with the AT Aliens.
Yeah!
And I am going to go with Green Bay. Next Thursday, LA Rams at San Francisco. Jason, Rams. He is going to go with those LA Rams. Wilson.
San Fran sucks.
He is going to go with the Rams. He is going to go with the LA Rams. Mayor.
Treat.
She is going to go with the San Francisco Treat. Angie.
I'm going San Francisco.
She is going to go with the San Francisco Treat for the second week in a row. That might be a Fanny nomination right there. Worst pick of the year. Her Cleveland and San Francisco picks. So I also have a Fanny category, Best Angie Sound. Lindsay.
Let me ram that between your legs.
Oh, she's gonna ram it in between the legs, and I am gonna also ram it in between her legs. What? All right, Mayor. Monday night, 8:30, MetLife Stadium. ESPN Monday Night Football. Your 1-0 Detroit Football Lions will be traveling to Jersey to take on Eli Manning, ODB, LT, David Tyree, and the 0-1 New York Football. What?
They're taking on Old Diddy
Odell Beckham. It's OBJ. Yeah, he goes by either one. Why are you fucking with my script right now?
Because I've never heard him called ODB until that.
ODB is also a female wrestler.
And then 0-1 New York Football Giants.
TNA.
Wilson. Jason first.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Lions.
He's gonna actually go with the Football Lions. Wilson. He's gonna go with the Football Lions.
He said Kenny would beat Kenny Galladay with the Detroit Lions. I'm just speaking it for the clarity of the rules.
Mayor.
Detroit Football Lions.
She's gonna go with the Football Lions. Angie.
Lions.
She is gonna go with the Football Lions.
Thank
Lindsay.
If you don't pick the Lions, you can't be let down by the Lions. I'm going with the Giants.
She's gonna go with the Football Giants. Nice philosophy. And I like your philosophy because this is national televised game, and I don't know when Matthew Stafford has ever won a national televised game, so I'm gonna go with the Football Giants. Mayor, don't put your money on us. Wilson, don't put your money on us. Mayor, say bye to the people.
Bye, people. What did I go last week?
You went 11-5.
I went what?
11-5.
Ooh, nice. All right. Catch y'all next week.
All right, Mayor, say bye to people.
Bye, people.
We come back, wrap this bitch up quick. Gavin. Say bye to the people. Come back, wrap this bitch up next.
It's a call.
Pound for pound, Sugar Ray Robinson, the greatest fighter ever lived. Oh, come on, man. What about Joe Louis?
The Brown Bomber. Now that was a great boxer.
You damn right.
Listen to
I suppose nobody in here ever heard of Cassius Clay. But he got a point. Cassius Clay was a bad motherfucker. Hey, I ain't saying Clay ain't bad. I'm just saying I stopped liking Cassius Clay once he changed the name to Muhammad Ali. What kind of shit is that?
Wait a second. A man has the right to change his name to whatever he wants to change it to. And if a man wants to be called Muhammad Ali, God damn it, this is a free country. You should respect his wishes and call the man Muhammad Ali.
KRadioBroadcasting.com.
His mama named him Clay. I'm gonna call him Clay. Mm-hmm. That's right. I say Clay.
Get out of here.
That's right. That's right. He gonna always be Clay to me. I don't give a fuck what he changed name to. He is Clay. He Clay to me. I say Clay.
Turn me up a little bit, Ben. So I'm just about to spit some shit real quick. It's the last song. Cause I done got to the promised land, baby. Let's go.
It just really bums me out.
Thanks to Jenny K, the future governor of Michigan, for joining us. Jason's here. Lindsay's making a great appearance as always. Wilson's
talking
here.
about her sticky ass vagina.
Talking about her sticky ass vagina.
Sticky buddy.
Also talking about Angie's $7 vagina.
Okay.
$7?
It's better
I could
than
afford that.
nothing, right? It's affordable. It's a people's vagina.
What about a trade?
People's vagina?
What about a vag trade?
For the millions of your vagina's fans?
Actually, I just had a meme sent to me by my best friend that
Does it
was
give
like,
the people's eyebrow?
it was like, I like my men like I like my, like, I don't know, it was like something like Raisinets or something. It was like, I like them black and 25 at a time. And she was like, yep.
I want to know what my vagina's worth.
Mine's $7.
I want to know.
That's like comparable to like a McDonald's, like a higher.
I wonder if there's a
meal.
quiz like that.
No, it's like any meal at McDonald's now.
What's your?
They're all like $6.49 now. And then tax brings up to $7.
Okay, great. Now I feel great about myself.
Yeah, you have a big vagina.
Sriracha chicken.
You have a Big Mac China.
According to my recent
A McGina.
experiences, I would say it was a nice little high class meal.
Oh,
the
McDonald's?
time that was spent on it. No, not at McDonald's. At like a nice restaurant.
Oh, your vagina.
Yeah.
I thought about her.
Like an
no,
Olive
on my
Garden?
experience with my vagina, I don't have a rating, but
Like, is it like an Olive Garden or like a
I think she was like a sushi
restaurant?
place.
maybe like Fleming's.
I don't think you want your vagina compared to a sushi
A
place.
$50 steak.
There you go. Yeah, $50 steak, $50 sushi. I was talking about price, not what you think of food.
I am.
Just because you eat mac and cheese and fucking.
Well, I said I don't think you want your vagina compared to a sushi place.
No, fishy. Ooh.
No, fishy. That's what I meant.
I did it.
How much your dick cost?
What the fuck?
Yeah, how much does your dick cost? Is it like a $5 foot long?
Shit on the ground. No, shit on the ground.
There's really not very many that are $5 anymore.
That's
Like,
true. It's like a
really
$5
the sub of the
6-inch.
day. Yeah.
My dick is Louis Vuitton.
That's not food.
Dick's like Kmart.
Mine's Netflix, $10 a month.
Honestly, I don't. Man, come on, man. You guys are
$10 a month. $10 a month.
You guys are leading me down
The
this.
sentimental effect for
my dick
me is a good. It was a good home cooked meal. Although I get to push. I
Home
got
cooked.
to push the whip and everything else like that back in the day.
No, my dick is like Netflix. It's $10 a month and everybody has a password.
Mine's like a new Samsung phone because it costs less than an iPhone, but it's better.
That was nice.
My dick is worth the cost of a divorce. Do you have any good stories for us?
What do you think his
like
dick's
a
worth?
double quarter pounder.
No, that's $8.50.
We didn't say how much it weighed. We were just saying how much is it worth.
So I have a question for you guys. Have any of you ever taken Viagra?
No.
Yes.
Whenever.
Oh, what
Yes.
a surprise.
I never.
It's just the experience.
If I get older and it doesn't come up naturally, then I will.
No, Dr. Drew says on his show that like if you take it, it fucks up your blood vessels.
Nope, don't.
Well, here's
Don't
the
do it.
thing.
Take it regularly.
So, like,
Don't take night bullets from the gas
Bobby
station.
has like circulation problems, like with his heart and shit.
Yeah, that's what it's actually for.
Yeah, exactly. So it actually like he got some from like an older guy at work, and I took some too.
Did you get a boner?
No, but like it makes you feel a little sexy, but like because like there's more circulation to your genitals as a female also.
Right.
But there's actually studies, I don't have them offhand, but like various things that it can benefit. Like it could help someone trying to conceive because it would cause a better whatever is on, I can't think of words right now, on the blood on the inside that comes out, It makes it like a better environment to reproduce, and then it can also help with like cramps, I think. Don't quote me on that one, but there's like a few different things that they've, and it's just like, experimental testing. But
I take a Viagra, you're going to get cramps.
I was gonna say, so in your case, he took it for his heart, and you got a mic stand in the room you can just hop on.
My mic is off.
You're fine.
Yeah, Wilson's off.
well, you don't have anything
There he
relevant
is.
to say, so.
But no, your shit
'Cause
can
you
get
got-
dependent on that. I can't have my shit dependent on
Well,
that.
no,
drug.
but that's like any drug. You can get dependent on it, or you can't.
Well, no, but
If
the
you have
difference.
some
I don't wanna
control.
take
No,
that
Viagra
shit.
actually
My
does.
shit
If you
works
take
fine.
it regularly for a period of time, it does permanently
But
expand
that's
your
what
blood
I'm saying.
vessels.
Don't take it regularly.
But it's
It's like for every once in a
Yeah,
while.
that's what you guys have been missing all
crazy
day.
long
Sorry.
sex experience.
no, we were fine.
Like, it's a once in a while, like, we're going to have a crazy night type thing.
Even then, though,
No.
no, it does do permanent damage to your vessels.
No, it doesn't. Like
just drink a lot of Patron.
I've taken night bullets before, and the first 2 or 3 times it was excellent. And then when I tried to get it up on my own, it just was a struggle.
Actually-
and after that,
Well,
I'm
there's a
like,
rebound
no,
period.
No, yeah, like
There's a rebound
It
period.
takes like 2 or 3 days for me to rebound.
Like
from
coming
something
off
like
of
that.
antidepressants.
No, but if you take Viagra, it can take months or years because of the strength of it.
Think
It's
about-
that
I mean,
reliable.
Yeah. I mean, smoking takes months or years to get rid of the damage.
true,
Right,
yeah.
but like dudes, all dudes, I
And it
have
affects your
some bad.
I also
days.
just don't want to be that hard in my life. Like that's too hard.
But a condom makes you last longer.
But like
Yeah.
a
Condom
one-time
makes you
thing. Like if
The
I
condom
had,
doesn't make me last
if
at
I
all.
had a chance for one time to have a dick, like just
So
swap
it's
genitals
worse?
with Bobby, just one time.
Really?
Hell yeah, I'd do that. I want to feel what like a vagina feels like from a dick perspective. Because when I touch my vagina, it's just weird. But like to a dick,
it's heaven.
Yeah.
It's paradise.
So I absolutely experience that for one time in my life.
I would be like Quise if I had a dick. Like I would just always talk about it, and I would like pull it out all the time.
Well, like,
First off, I didn't bring it up. You guys brought it up. I didn't.
This is the one time you didn't. You're right.
Just randomly,
I agree.
like squeeze them.
But
that would be like
week.
a penis. Like I would just randomly hold it and whatever.
Suck it.
And be like, "Do you guys want to see my dick?" Too bad.
Sell all your dick pics because it's gonna be gone tomorrow anyways. So.
Right.
Nobody wants dick pics.
Nobody does.
That's
ever.
not true.
Unless
That
they
is a
ask for it.
fucking
Unless they ask for it or they go seeking it, nobody wants it normally.
The people's vagina does.
I will admit,
you need to shave your bush in the form of the people's
I
eyebrows.
don't have to because I get it waxed. So I just got it waxed last week.
And your new goal is every time you get it waxed, be like, take a picture of The Rock from 1999 and be like, I want this
can't see your
eyebrow.
eyes because of Jason's mic stand.
I've got to be honest with you, Lindsay. And this is like when Lindsay took a long sabbatical from the show. I almost accidentally sent her a dick pic. Accidentally, which would have been really weird.
Would a black penis make you come back?
Well, because Jay.
Who's this old black?
Because
oh no.
Because Jay is very close to L, and so and
JKL.
and Lindsay would send me like random rapping videos.
Yep.
So hers would always be somewhere in the realm of that, and so like there was a time I
think we just discovered the arm jerk offer.
Did you mean to send it to K?
No, it was to Jay, and then
there's something that he's
Jolene.
hinting at.
Jolene.
But now I just let her take. Do you want to get into
Takes
anything?
her own pics now. Is that what you're gonna say?
Yes. Do you want to get into?
She's just playing the whole song now.
No, I'm doing "Come On, Eileen."
Come on, Lindsay.
Do you want to get into any stuff that you have interesting, or do you want to end the show?
I don't know. What do you want to just end it?
I don't know. Do you have anything?
I don't even remember
I literally
what the
like
fuck I
5
wrote
weeks
down.
ago warned you about this with Meth Notes. He will just be like, "Hey,
well, no,
what's
I'm
your shit? It's over."
I'm looking at 6:30.
that's true.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
looking at.
Fine. All I have to say is, first of all, the Catch Me Outside girl got a record deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Didn't we talk about that?
No.
Oh, Bobby must have said it.
It happened this week.
It made me very, very disappointed.
I know. Kevin was
And
like,
the homie
well,
Quavo is
like-
doing a track, I think, with her.
And it was
I mean,
awful. It was
have you
god awful.
listened?
Oh god, it was god awful.
Okay, it wasn't even that bad in comparison to
No.
some of the shit that I have heard from like other people.
It was bad. It was all
It was not
like
good.
She has no talent. Someone wrote something for her. Someone manipulated her voice. Someone, you know what I mean? Like,
First they gon' mention my age, then they gon' mention my race. Hit 4 million views in a day. They should admire the pace. Came from the bottom for real. Boy bitch used to be home. Now I'm in the Hollywood Hills. And more than ever in the zone. But I can't roll in peace. TMZ following me. Everybody want the scoop. Wish you bitches let me breathe. Only 5 foot, but I'm all savage. Knock a bitch out on the airline. Yellow fuck spirit, hold them hoes here. Down to let you have it like it ain't mine. I don't pick up like the landline. When they bring me up, you better act mine. I'm pulling up in the Panamera with a pink slip, so you know it's mine. My daddy ain't by, he left me in private and tried to come back when he seen I was shining. But fuck him, I'm grinding. These hoes on the charts in this climate. Just wait till a bitch going diamond. Red hair, don't care. Catch your stairs everywhere, like what the problem is. How you hating with your grown ass when I'm 14 and got my mama rich? I go out right now and they taking pics. I remember when they didn't give a shit. Wasn't looking twice and I was dead, yeah. Now it's bad, baby, all up in this bitch. Yo, artist scared of my brand. Suck my dick, that's all that I'm saying. All these artists hating online, like it's me that's stopping they shine. Get you some money, my bodyguard records 200 a year. You broke and you bummy, I don't wanna hear it. Got over 1 million endorsements. Why you thirsty for importance? I call it quits on his ends. Had me so slow on my hands. Now I ain't losing again. Test me, I'm proving to win. They wanna see me in jail. Good luck with seeing me fail. I know the courts is corrupted, but I won't be in no cell. They try to make an example. I said it myself. Said I was too disrespectful. Putting my mama through hell. FYI, we doing well. And I got the mortgage secure. And they gonna hate me for sure. And all of these hunters my cure. Young, rich, and I'm out of control. Making bands like I'm out on the road. Dodging 12, yelling fuck the troll. Ballin' now like it's all that I know. I let them hate cause I know that they broke. My wave coming, better go with the flow. See them sinking while I'm staying afloat. Pay attention, I can show you the ropes. But first they gon' mention my ass. my race. Hit from your views in the day. They should admire the pace. You should be minding your place. Why is you all in my face? Yeah, I'm young, and I'm rich, and I'm small, but I'm black.
She's just something that can sell.
But she's like when she say, "How about that? Catch me outside." How about
that? She's literally the real life embodiment of the character that Kesha created in 2010. Like that like joke party drunk slut girl that Kesha mimicked in her stage act is actually who this girl is.
4 more years,
it just,
man. 4 more years.
It really frustrates me because I want to write music. I want to, produce songs and get out there, and then this dumb shit. They have no talent like these people.
She's popular. She has.
And it frustrates me because I also much like Catch Me Outside Girl, yearn to do nothing that matters and then just watch TV.
I'm mad that I've worked on the show, getting every detail, every point, constantly improving the show for 4 years, and this chick is just having bad behavior and goes on Dr. Phil, and all of a sudden she blows up.
Jealousy.
It kills me.
Yeah, that's jealousy, man.
He's not being subtle about his jealousy at all. He's
no,
very forward.
No, that's no. It really sometimes I listen to other podcasts that's not on this network, but other podcasts that gets a lot of downloads, and I listen to these shows, and I'm like, we are so much better than even if you don't want to talk about from a sports perspective, if you want to talk about from a general talk perspective and a general listen perspective. This show is dope. I mean, and you guys, like only Jason actually listens to the second product of the actual show.
I did one time.
And so a lot of times you guys don't hear. You guys just hear the raw version of it.
I've been listening lately. I mean, I listen when I'm on. No offense, but I like to hear myself talk. And I love the new stuff that you've added.
Thank you.
The new little production things, like the music in the background, like Areola. That's so awesome. It sounds more professional. Not that we didn't sound real before, but it's so awesome to hear the difference between what you hear when you're on air talking and the production. That takes it to the next level, and it gives people a reason to re-listen.
Right.
If you're a fan of this show and you hear it live and then you go back, that gives you a reason to re-listen. Yeah. Instead of hearing the same thing twice, you're hearing something new.
So I think if we all did a nude photo shoot or whatever,
where the fuck did this come from?
Just for marketing.
I quit the show.
Wait a minute. Okay, first off, Wilson wants us all to get naked in the chat. You want us to do we? Are we just getting naked? Is that what we're doing?
At least we're not on Facebook Live anymore.
I will leave.
I know.
I will just leave.
No, you won't.
Yes, I will.
See, here's the
you
thing.
Can wear
I'm intensely private about that shit.
I'm semi-comfortable with myself. I have self-conscious issues. So being around, if it was just us, that wouldn't bother me. But if it's something that's going out there to the public, I would be very uncomfortable.
You heard it here first. She's going to start showing up nude for Quise.
We are going to do a calendar.
Yes.
And I'll just be sitting here in a chair fully clothed.
If I can dress up in cool costumes, then
I
would
just be my Twitter logo?
Hey, Jason, me and you could just do cosplay.
Okay.
We'll just get really cool costumes.
Okay.
Go completely the other end.
Are we really going to so we're doing a calendar.
What month do you want?
Are we
everybody got to do their birthday month.
Can I be November?
Yeah.
I hate November, but I'm November.
I'm May.
Yeah.
I could be a Scorpion.
Mine will just be what is currently my Twitter photo. It's just me sitting on a microphone with a red shirt.
We're going to do some shit.
No.
You ain't going to get naked, okay?
I've got to, I mean, we're going to get someone hired, but I've got a nice camera.
We're going to put that picture of Wilson in his bed for July.
There you go. That one. Yeah.
In a bed in July, though, that seems more like a winter month.
Ooh. I mean, I sleep in my bed all year round.
But in the summer, you can be more of an exhibitionist.
But he's fucking naked in the bed.
He's literally naked.
He's literally naked in the bed.
He's not kind of fucking
a fireplace? Come on.
I love you guys so much.
I feel like for February, I'm gonna wear a diaper and hearts over my nipples.
Cupid!
Yes.
Get tassels, spinny tassels.
Yes.
They're heart-shaped, yeah.
Well, then I'm Cupid.
Oh my God! Yes,
double Cupid.
I think you reached your goal. You can just sit back and enjoy the show now.
Month twins.
Oh, what's your birthday?
Just get us started, get that ball rolling. It's like a lawnmower.
That was 27th.
February 10th was close to when I was conceived.
Oh my god.
February 10th is my kid's birthday.
I was conceived on
February
August
2nd
10th.
is my kid's birthday. Oh shit.
I mean, I was like probably like a little bit earlier than February 10th, but February definitely.
I was conceived on August 10th, 1985. It's the day my parents got married, and I was born almost 9 months to the day later.
So your birthday's in May?
May 7th.
Oh, that's almost exactly
So what are you
half
gonna do for
I'm
your
November
calendar?
6th, so your birthday is a day after my half birthday. Because yes, I celebrate my half birthday.
We're gonna dress him as
What's your
Ken Bone.
calendar
What do you
in
mean?
May? Are you in like a field of flowers?
No,
oh my
probably-
god, I could be a really cool turkey.
I'm just sitting.
That's what
I'm-
I was thinking. I was like, you could be.
Can
like,
we all do?
You should be like naked on a platter with like food, like.
Mine's just a giant red and black stripe
I'm not
of me
really
falling
into
on
the
my
food
butt.
fetish though. I dated a guy who had like kind of a food fetish and he wanted me to like eat while we were having sex.
George Costanza?
No, it was when I was like 19.
George Costanza?
No.
Because he would have.
I actually, I mean, if you want to talk about weird, I mean,
Yeah.
I like going down on the girl while she texts. Why?
I feel like you've told.
I feel like I have to earn your attention. So I'll be like, go ahead and text it, do all
Well,
your
yeah,
Facebook.
that would be satisfying if she puts down her phone because she's in so much pleasure. Oh god.
Yeah. So
I mean, that's not what I sound like, but
yeah, but like,
oh god, oh my god, oh my god, the most amazing thing.
yeah. So thanks to Jenny K, the future governor of
She
Michigan,
can
for
be
coming
in the
on.
calendar. It'll be a good boost for her.
I don't. Okay.
You know what? Well,
I think
it's not
if
so
we're
far.
talking about spending money, maybe we should consider paying him for the amount he pays for this show every week before
Yeah,
we
like
consider
Photoshop that. If you do,
making
if
calendars.
you do like the summer, you gotta add fans. If you do the winter, you gotta add a heater.
I know.
And a
I don't care.
fireplace.
I invest in us because I love doing this show, and
We
I
could
mean,
do little
I pay for it
pictures
anyway.
on certain days.
Yeah.
Like, you know how some
right,
calendars
right,
have writing
right.
stuff? It'll have our birthday with a little
Right,
picture
right.
of us.
Over under fair, spinning the wheels, fucking around, he's on it. Well, you haven't done over under fair like all summer.
We took summer off.
He took a Lindsay hiatus.
That's what we're gonna call it. Summer off for right now.
Rather than what it really was, somebody fucked up everything, the chemistry on the show, and fucked up somebody's whole will to want to do the show.
Lacey?
Come on.
We're on summer break on Over Under Fair, but Spinning the Wheels comes back next week.
Come
You guys want a succubus
Oh,
break?
come in.
Spinning the Wheels and Pucking Around comes back next week. That's always fun.
He's on it. You got any shouts, thank yous, fuck yous, or
Hello,
apologies?
come on.
Shout out
See.
to everybody at Sterling who made my time there fun. I honestly will genuinely miss Katie, Rob, and Greg, and Dave Taylor. Fuck you to Kyle, who I now have to deal with again.
Only about 3 weeks before he shows back up.
Yeah, God, no, never. Fuck you to everybody who made my time rough at Sterling.
I was
won't
really
miss you.
thinking about just coming back into like just doing like a couple weeks.
Yeah, no.
You think he should be cool with that?
Nope,
Like,
I would quit.
Who's Kyle?
Don't worry about it. Fuck you to everybody who made my time there shitty. Andy Sitko, you can go fuck yourself. So on and so forth, people like that. And thank you to no one else. Lindsay?
Okay, so thank you to people who bought stuff at the garage sale. Apologies to the job that I tried to work really early and then they asked me to work midnights and then I stopped working. So sorry about that. I'm a coward and yeah, I just ghosted them. And then also shout out to, this is kind of random, something I didn't get to work in earlier, so it's a shout out now. Shout out to Big Boy because on his new album he has this song called Overthunk, and it really hits me hard. The last line of the chorus is overthinking is a drug, which I absolutely relate to, and I apologize for letting that affect my appearances on the show and everything else. So yeah,
we have come to learn, Lindsay, that you are you, and when you show up, we will be delighted to have
Just
you.
accept it.
And when you don't, we will ride it out with Angie and Jason and Wilson, whoever's here. But you are one of our orphans, and you are always welcome to come through, especially when you bring Especially
Yeah,
when you
I'm
bring
about to go ahead and
half of John Denver's discography.
yeah. Somewhere protecting your property.
No,
Wilson.
that's finished.
No, that's finished.
Because every week you get it wrong.
Somewhere protecting your property. Wilson. Okay, you know what? Shout outs, thank yous, fuck yous, or apologies.
Well, of course, shout out to the Wilson clan, and keep it short and sweet. Fuck you, Kahana.
Triple G Canelo tonight. Who you got?
Triple G.
Are you going to a fight party tonight?
Nah, I'm gonna watch it on my
On your Fire Stick?
Yeah.
Somewhere chasing your local accident scene. Somewhere being freaked out by the thought of sitting on someone's face. Somewhere at your local chemo treatment.
You motherfucker.
I know that was so disgusting. It felt disgusting coming out of my mouth.
Yeah,
it felt so disgusting because every week I randomly have to text Angie and say, "I'm sorry, you're such a good sport." I always have to do that because
I feel like you
bad.
do that when you're like editing the show.
Well, it's okay
Or when I'm
because
listening
Keith
to the
doesn't
show.
care about me.
I don't feel like we rag on you as much as we do Angie. I feel like we always give Angie the business.
Oh no, I know.
But I have. How many times have I texted you? I'm like, man, I text you recently. I'm like, man, the whole thing with you and Angie is so good. You guys are like peanut butter and jelly. You guys are cool.
The last thing he said to me was, "I don't care."
What? Is that the last thing? Angie, any shout outs, thank yous, fuck yous, or apologies?
Yeah, shout out to my gynecologist.
Shout out, keeping that pussy clean.
Yeah. She was like, we're gonna have
Deep sea diver.
Yeah, we're gonna have to like ew. Did I tell you guys?
We're gonna have to ew? Like what?
No, like the process that you have to do. I told Jason, but it's like they take iodine and they like squirt it all over your cervix, and then she's like, and then you're gonna like discharge black shit for a week.
Have you ever taken the pills that make you piss like orange, like Gatorade, like the Gatorade
UTI
sweat commercials?
pills?
Yeah.
Why is there a product to clear your skin, but side effects are diarrhea and all type of
That
shit?
kills me.
I have a question. Why is it in this new commercial for a new cancer drug? In the commercial shot like, oh well, we're just talking to a cancer patient. We're not going to make this edit or anything. And they're like showing the side stuff and like
so it's
people
like
working on side.
reality.
Yeah, and it's like the background, and her family's there. They're all actors. Why does a cancer patient need to be fuckable? Why can't you just get a cancer patient?
Because we're men.
Because
every medical commercial, this is an actor.
Why? Just if you want to show the actual reaction to this drug, get the fucking cancer patient. She could probably use the fucking money.
But if they show a cancer patient who's all decrepit, they're like, well, that doesn't work if she still looks like that.
She's gotta be sexy and fuckable.
Photogenic.
This
She can't be
medicine
in the
makes you.
calendar.
Yeah, this medicine makes you sexy. That's what they're selling. Sex sells.
You can catch us on iTunes. You can catch us on Podbean. You can catch us right here live every Saturday from 4 to 6-ish on CRBradio.com. You can also catch us on SportsRadioDetroit.com. Remember, if you're into it, there's probably porn for it, and you can find it on Motherless.com.
On your search history.
I watched some porn with Bobby the other day.
Good.
It was fun.
What kind did you guys watch together?
Well, I'm kind of picky with porn. We ended up going with like this Kama Sutra video because it had like some nice music in the background, but then they didn't show a lot of like pussy dick action, so we had to go with something a little different. Yeah, but it was nice like in the background. Then we had to go with something a little more exciting. But it was so shitty finding videos.
Bye, people, later haters. I can pee on that.
Okay, we weren't there yet.
Whatever.
Ari Diamond, thank you for letting me dream for one more week. I think that we are done. Lindsay, anything to say?
Later, haters.
Angie, anything to say?
My vagina.
And that's how we'll end the show. Talk to you guys next week.